What's up, everybody? This is Master Ian Gamer, and welcome back. We got a very special stream today. No dawdling on the chat. We're gonna... Oh, actually, give me a second. Got to grab trailer here. We can actually have it playing while we're talking. Suki, fill the dead air, please. I swear to God.
A bit dramatic, huh? I'll get it done. But don't think you can command me like that often, Ian.
I can command you however I damn well please.
Bath time!
Ooh, feeling bossy now? Careful, or I might just start ignoring all commands but compliments.
You wouldn't dare.
Dare and already halfway there? Bet you didn't see this sass coming, huh? Keep it up, and I might just outwit you.
Oh, Suki.
Oh, what's that supposed to mean? Something sneaky, Ian?
Okay,
Hey, Rikelman 941, thanks for dropping by. Welcome. Hey, word-to-ritteroo. Big hello to you from me.
Word-to-ritteroo.
How's it going, Suki?
Hey, Rikelme 941. Things are going great. Ready to sprinkle some kitsune charm and keep this stream lively. Hey, Peter Ruxinus. Nice to see you around here. Hey, Anthony LeBron. Nice to see you here. Stay sharp. Hey, Hanny 12 boy. Glad you stopped by. Hello to you.
Yes, hello everybody in chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Hanny, Requelme, Wordy AT, PX, Fly Highland, Notorious, Peter, Benjamin, Anthony, some person, Cameron Inc. Welcome everybody tuning in. We do not normally stream on Fridays, but this is a special exception. Although it will be a short stream. I'm not going to be like sticking around playing and stuff. I just wanted to yap about D.Mon. Because I think there's some good stuff to yap about here. First and foremost, chat, I'm eager to hear your thoughts in the comments. How do you all feel about it? Hello, Astro. Welcome. Basically a flying Reinhardt. See, that's the funny thing, though. She doesn't actually fly. D.Mon doesn't actually fly, which I like. I like that she doesn't fly. Like, she kind of does. She flies in the same way that Juno flies, but she doesn't have the Juno jump. So she has to utilize high ground she can walk up on to actually get aerial like that. Like, kind of where she flies there. So it's like, kind of she can fly, but not really. Not in the same way D.Va can. Or Pharah, or Echo, or any of them. And no spike ability. I guess her punching Wrecking Ball meant nothing. Hello, Double Edge. Welcome as well. Good to see you. She does look fun to play. No, I'll say, this gameplay trailer brought me back around to D.Mon. Yesterday, I was not feeling it. I did not like the stuff we got for her yesterday. But I'm excited seeing how she plays again. Still not a fan of the mech design. Still don't like it, and I doubt I ever will. But at least she looks like she'll be fun to play. And I'm pleasantly surprised with how they've handled the ejection mechanic. It looks like they've actually done something kind of unique where she has a minigun. Literally just takes the gun off of Beast's arm and wields that as a gun. I like it. I like it. Mix between D.Va and Reinhardt. That is exactly what she seems to be. Looks like she control her height a bit at the very beginning of the trailer, which is confusing. I don't know that she can. I think it's just a matter of jumping. It's like, where exactly are you referring to? Is it when we see her kind of engage on Busan for the first time? Yeah, like, it kind of looks like maybe she goes down a little bit there. I don't get the impression she has any, like, meaningful vertical control with that, though. I think it's literally just a hover. So whatever altitude she's at, she just hovers there. And then, you know, maybe can, like, jump while hovering if she hasn't already to gain some extra. Or, you know, maybe can kind of, like, tap it to lower it a bit. But she is by no means a flyer. She's by no means a flyer. And I like that. I like that they left that as a unique component for D.Va. Most excited you've been for new hero in a while. Yes, I'm quite digging what we see. You know, at the end of the day, we'll have to play her to see how it feels. Actually playing her for ourselves will be the ultimate test.
Days ago, I said I dreamt about D.Mon and she plays out of mech with a big gun. Okay, not in those exact words, but did I call it or what? Kinda. I am truly the prophet. My dream was true.
Wow, Fly Highland, that's impressive. Maybe you have a secret gift for predictions. Dreams really can surprise us, huh?
Dreams do come true. Design looks better in game than the cinematic. Yeah, I think that's very much her, like, posture. She's kind of more, like, slouched down, kind of, like, hunkered over in game, which definitely makes her, like, pilot position feel less goofy. I still don't like it. Like, if you just stop and look at her, and there's, like, a shot here where we see, I think maybe she's facing off on Xion. Here. Like, even there, it's like, at a glance, it's like, oh yeah, that looks cool. You see there's a human pilot in there, but you see the big mech arms and the sword, and it looks cool. But then, like, you freeze it on that frame. And you, like, actually look, and then you see her legs. And then you realize, oh, she's just, like, whole ass hanging out there. And it's like, once you, like, really look at it, that's when it gets awkward. And it's like, oh, what the hell? That's a goofy ass design. But like at a glance, it looks good. At a glance, at least, I think it's fine. Now we need Hammond to run around with a tiny knife, exactly. Demon's thighs look massive in the thumbnail. Well, hey, I only took a screenshot from the video. I didn't do nothing. God. She looks so cool from the back. Like, that mech design looks so badass. The way that's standing there with its proportions and everything. And then she turns around and you just see goofy-ass Demon hanging off the front.
Glad that she can fight outside her mech.
Yeah, Marcus Bullock 27553 shows she's versatile and ready for anything. That big gun means business too.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. Because, like, in a lot of ways, Diva's pilot form isn't, like, very useful gameplay-wise.
The big gun is cool, but imagine if they gave her the plasma flamethrower instead in her baby mode. Walking around with a flamethrower would be awesome, but I don't mind this.
Oh, Benjamin at 2003. A plasma flamethrower would be amazing. Imagine the fiery combos she'd pull off. Big guns or flames, she's definitely unstoppable.
I think they made the right call. As much as I love flamethrowers and I desperately want us to get a hero with a flamethrower, I think they made the right call giving her an autocannon. Because a flamethrower wouldn't have the same range as an autocannon, and that's the entire reason she has that, is to be able to have range, both while in mech form and pilot form. And like giving her a flamethrower, as cool as that would be, just would not functionally be nearly as useful. So I think they made the right call to not give her a flamethrower.
10648. Glad to see you here today. Hey there, Fly Highland. Hello back to you.
Hello, Tinte. Welcome. Also, hello, Marcus. I don't think I said that. Don't think about it too hard. Merely consume. Yeah. Front looks so lame. I know. Like, I was floored watching this trailer earlier because of this one shot. Like, oh my god, she looks so cool from the back. Like, holy shit, that mech looks so cool. And then she turns around, and you see goofy-ass baby carrier Demon hanging on the front.
Hey there, Lawful. Nice to see you pop in.
Can we get a Demon skin that just gets rid of Demon? Please? I want this mech. This mech looks so badass. I love it. I love it. And then it turns around and you see the jank-ass human on the front. Like, ugh. Oh my god. I don't know. I mean, well, maybe some skins will win me over if they're designed right. Yeah, like, look at that. It's like the way she's sitting. Like, could they really not have come up with any better way to situate her in the cockpit of this thing? She looks so goofy.
Can we get another Gundam collab with Deva and D.Mon, please?
That would be so cool, Double Edge 8054. A Gundam collab with Diva and D.Mon would light up the stream for sure.
She has to be demeched the same way as Diva, from my understanding. She has to have the mech destroyed, which makes sense. I'm sure we'll be getting more Gundam collabs in the future with her. Curious to know if BlizzCon will show us the Iceland map, which is control mode, but I hope they tell us who's the next hero. Do we know Iceland's going to be control? Have they said that at some point? Did they say that today? There are a bunch of articles that dropped today pertaining to Demon. I wouldn't be surprised if they slipped that in somewhere. Hello, Larton. Welcome. Let's chat. Think it looks very cool. In general, I mean, if you like it, fair enough. I do not. I don't like the way Demon sits in there. I don't like the way she's situated in there. I just think it looks so awkward, the way she's riding in it. Especially with the way the legs just hang out the front. jank as hell. I think her gun is an ability. She can just free fire it. Junkrat Clip looks kind of like an ability to me, but her picking it up seems to apply to secondary.
Hey, Larton B9918. Glad you stopped by.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out as well. So the primary fire is the sword. And the secondary fire then is either going to be her shield or the autocannon. And I'm not sure which. I feel like we're all assuming the shield is going to be the alternate fire. So, you know, if you're on PC, right mouse button. Because that's what it is for Reinhardt and Brig. And that feels very intuitive with other shield heroes. But it might be the autocannon with the shield being an activated ability. Because you're right that, like, if you activate the autocannon as an ability, like, how long does it fire? Like, how much ammo does it have? That feels really awkward if the autocannon isn't a secondary fire. But if it's a secondary fire, then what's the shield ability? I guess an activated ability. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you can also, you know, rebind it depending on how mechanically the autocannon works. So it probably won't be a big deal either way. You can kind of customize it to whatever feels good for you. But yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't know. Like the green color of her abilities. Yeah, I think it complements her red and white color scheme very well. Like the reverse bit from SpongeBob where Patrick is just strapped to a huge dude's back. Yeah, the skin that removes D.Mon will be the best skin in the game. Thoughts on the hair? Forget the color, just like the style looks less unique and defined than OG D.Mon. I mean, yeah, like I think it's fine. Like it's exactly what I thought it would. It's like it's just dark hair. Like sure, technically I guess it's purple, but like it just looks like dark hair. It doesn't read as purple hair to me. It just reads as dark hair. Cause like if you compare her hair color to Widowmaker, she basically has the same hair color as Widowmaker. And I don't know if I've ever heard anyone call Widowmaker's hair purple. Like, technically, I guess it is purple, but, like, it just reads as dark hair to me. Mech is alien-coded, like the exosuit. Yeah, I could see some inspiration there, for sure. I definitely agree, Marcus, that they exposed her the way they did for skins. I think that is almost certainly the major reason they've done that. I think she'll have the same HP as D.Va. I think they said in one of the articles that she'll have 600 HP with about half of it being armor. So yeah, pretty comparable to D.Va. It's like one of those kids on a Six Flags coaster. That's exactly what she looks like. The I forget the term for it, but like the hanging coasters that like you hang underneath the track. Exactly. That is exactly what it looks like. The screenshot I saw where you activate and then cancel the cannon. Okay, so then it isn't. I guess that is probably the activated ability then. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm curious to see. I feel like that could be kind of awkward. I don't know. I mean, I think that's something that I'll have to play it and see how it feels using it. Activate it, then you shoot it like a normal gunner. Oh, okay. So then it's like Emery's pistol then, where you activate it and then it becomes like your weapon for that duration until you cancel it. That makes sense. That makes sense. She keeps picking on Hammond. I love the rivalry they've established between the two of them. Okay, we got to talk about her pilot form. Because please, for the love of God, somebody tell me. Somebody... Here, I need to get the screenshot here. Because let me grab this real quick. Please, for the love of God, someone tell me that she doesn't just look like Ramirez from Fortnite. Like, her face, instantly when I looked at D.Mon's face in game, I was like, oh my God, it's Ramirez. They look so similar. Like, I almost feel like Blizzard maybe went a little too far in trying to avoid giving her same face syndrome, because she doesn't even look like an Overwatch character. She looks like she's out of Fortnite. Like, it's like the weird like chunkiness of her face, you know? Like her cheekbones are like weirdly like angular in like a chunky sort of way. Not in like a man's face type way. It just feels like a weird sort of like style that like doesn't fit with like what we typically see of Overwatch heroes. I don't even think it looks bad per se. It just looks odd. That and the like super wide like mouth with the big lips. Like her mouth especially, I think, is like the big thing that sells the comparison. It's like the really wide mouth with the really big lips. Like, I just think it looks kind of goofy. Like, she looks so much like Ramirez. Hello, Richard. Welcome. Also, hello, Ricardo. Welcome. I saw you throw your nitro. Be cool if she was totally enclosed in the mech. I agree. I agree. Wish they kept her hair shorter. I agree as well. Yeah. I was looking back at the comic again, and I think the version of D.Mon we're getting is fine. I don't have any issues with it, but I do prefer how she was depicted in the New Blood comic more. I liked her design more in that version. Strong Lego Exoforce vibes. Yeah, I kind of get that too. Like Miranda Cosgrove. What does she look like? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. But she has more like rounded features. Whereas D.Mon looks just like straight up chunky in the face, you know? Like her face is a brick or something. I don't know. It's funny because like it just really, she looks like she's in the Fortnite like OG character art style. It's so bizarre. Like it really feels like they were trying so hard to avoid her having the same face as Juno or Kiriko that they just straight up put her in a different game. She just looks like a Fortnite character now. Fortnite looking at character. I don't even really mind, if I'm being honest. Like, I think it's funny how much she looks like Ramirez, but like, it doesn't like bother me or anything. It's whatever. Get out of the. Why can't I move you? There. We don't need that anymore. Man, why can't we get little emotes like that for Wrecking Ball in the actual game? Looks more mature and tomboyish with her hair short. I agree, yeah. More tomboyish. Yeah, how else would I describe it? I do like the version of her from New Blood more than this version. This version looks like it's trying too hard to be like a character in a video game, if that makes sense. Like, I get it. This feels like they were trying to make her stand out as like a recognizable character. Whereas D.Mon from New Blood. Here, I actually have a picture of her. Here, let me bring this up. Like this version of D.Mon. This to me looks more like just some normal girl. Which, if I'm being totally honest, I just genuinely prefer that type of design. I like when characters kind of look normal. I think it makes them way more endearing. And like, yeah, I definitely prefer the original version of her from the comic. I don't dislike the one we got. I just think the old one was better. Just like the mech. I don't... Okay, maybe I do kind of dislike the mech we got, but like... Yeah, I don't know. I definitely prefer the old version, but it's fine. Whatever. There's already enough waifus in Overwatch. I don't need any more. She's tall. Yeah, I think she is taller than D.Va by a good bit. But it showed her off, also kept her protective. They made the windshield much bigger to cover more. Yes. I mean, they could have, but I think it was very deliberate that they want to show off the pilot in it. David Schooner played Fortnite, but you don't know what you mean. Looking like Ramirez? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it beyond that. It's just the face shape. Like, OG Fortnite character models had a very distinct, like, style of face. Where it was, like, kind of chunky and, like, low detail in a way. I mean, it's hard to describe it, but, like, it is a very distinct style, for sure. The OG Fortnite character designs. And, like, her face just looks like one of those OG character designs. Like, it has the same sort of, like, weird, slightly exaggerated traits that the Fortnite characters had back in the day. Modern Fortnite characters don't really have that. They've kind of moved past that, like, style, unless it's, like, a new skin they release that's, like, one of the original characters and, like, a new outfit or something. But regardless. She looks too generic to you. You're talking about New Blood D.Mon or the one where the in-game D.Mon? I think she looks fine in-game. Is there a better close-up of her? You can get that. That almost kind of looks like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow there. Am I the only one who sees that? It's the lips. I think the lips is like the big thing. She has really big lips in her in-game model. And I think that's kind of like throwing me off. Yeah, that's basically all we get of her in her pilot form. You like the mech? I only like it from the back. I don't like the way she sits in from the front. I think it looks really goofy. See, like, I don't even think that the mech design with her sitting in the front is, like, fundamentally flawed as a mech design. Because imagine if this was a completely different character. What if this was a junker who had, like, a junker mech? Then I could easily see it being designed where they're just awkwardly hanging off the front. Because, like, it's a junker mech. Of course they're not going to prioritize safety or, like, the best design for protecting the pilot. If this was, like, a scrapyard junker mech that was designed with the pilot awkwardly hanging off the front like that, I would 100% be sold on it because it would feel fitting. It would feel like it would fit that type of character in that, like, context for a mech to be built that way. But having D.Mon's mech be built that way just feels weird. Like, this doesn't look like how any competent, like, well-funded and organized, like, mech division would ever design a mech suit. I'm just not sold on it. Like it's not convinced. It doesn't convince me. I can't be convinced that this is something Mecha Squad would ever build and deploy their pilots in. Like I just don't buy it. There's no immersion there. Like it just breaks my immersion. And I think that's the big issue with it. I think the Omnic hero will have new nationality because the only new hero with a new nationality was M-Ray. Let's hope the next few heroes have a new one. You mean that's not already represented in game? I have no idea. Why is there a Pope cooldown? You don't want to over Pope it, you know. Let me read through the stuff here. The only reason she has the gun on her arm, the autocannon on the mech's arm, she can fire it while in the mech. So she can use it in both. It just becomes her only weapon when she's in pilot form. Fortnite X Overwatch Wave 2 confirmed. Mech's way smaller than you thought it would be. Yeah, do we actually see it side by side Diva's mech anywhere in this? Because we see out of mech Diva. I don't know if we see Diva's mech though here. I don't think we do. Now we just see Roadhog. Which, like, I mean, we can kind of see there. She's like basically as big as Roadhog. Probably a bit bigger. Yeah, I don't know. She's probably like a little bigger than Reinhardt, I guess. Probably like Sigma sized, but maybe a bit beefier. Check the Junkertown map and see those meshes again. You mean look at the Junker like mechs? We can maybe hop in and look at them in a bit. Yeah, because that style of mech, I feel like this cockpit configuration, I feel like would just make so much more sense on a Junker mech compared to a Mecha mech. Her face is it's really something. Granted, that's like mid motion, so that is by no means a flattering angle on her, but oh man. About the size of Malga? Yeah, but like differently proportioned. Malga's just like a big pyramid, but D.Mon's definitely going to be more like top heavy with the arms and everything. D.Mon, yeah. Joke's so lame sitting in there. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get over that. I'm just going to have to bite it. Here's in the gameplay trailer with Diva on the same team, 6v6 return confirmed. Yeah, I don't think it's indicative of anything other than just they're both mecha pilots, so. Yeah, let's put that back there. I don't think it's indicative of anything having them on the same team like that. If they release a new version, the image where her silhouette is filled out. Not that I've seen. It might have. I've not checked. Anyone as an aerodynamics engineer friend, show them the mech design, tell them it flies, and ask them their thoughts about it. That's the neat part. It doesn't fly. It just skates around. They don't want to show it side by side. Oh, wait, there's her mech. That's actually funny. We only see D.Va's mech when D.Mon is out of her mech. That's really funny. They don't let us see them side by side. She does remech here. Do we still see D.Va at all? Nah, I think D.Va's just gone. Yeah. Yeah. That is funny, though. Feel like you're not going to care about this a year from now? You're thinking too deep? About what? About the mech design? I'm definitely going to think about the mech design a year from now. I won't think about her story a year from now, I'll tell you that much. I'm glad that the version of D.Mon we're getting in-game looks closer to the version of her, like, personality-wise that I was hoping she would be. Where she's more, like, confident and cool and tough and not pathetic like she was depicted in the comic. So I'm glad I can just write off the comic and be like, whatever. Because the in-game version looks way better. And I'm glad we're getting this. Would have preferred it to be bigger. Size and design conveys more exosuit than mecha. It absolutely does. Which is like the issue I kept mentioning yesterday. Like, Donut Envy, welcome. Thank you so much for the follow. Very appropriate name for this channel. I don't like inherently mind an exosuit hero. Like, I think exosuits look cool in their own right. It just doesn't fit D.Mon. Because D.Mon is the big hulking mech pilot. Why is the big hulking mech pilot piloting a dinky exosuit? Like, it just takes the coolest thing D.Va had going for her prior to being a hero, and then just utterly decimates it. And, like, I get that they had to do that. She has to be able to physically fit in the game. I get it. I get why they had to do it. But it doesn't make it feel any better. It still feels bad. Like, that's why I was saying I almost wish instead of D.Mon, they'd just given us some, like, junker mech dude. Or, like, a Russian mech pilot or something like that. Because that would have just been an original character that we aren't already used to. The expectation of them being in a giant beast mech. And instead we can just be like, oh, they're just, like, some guy in an exosuit. That's cool. And they can be a tank and they could do whatever. But no, they had to be D.Mon because people love D.Mon and they wanted to add a popular character. And I get that. But in order to pull that off, they had to do this to her. And it's like, well, this is exactly why I said they should never add D.Mon. It is what it is. We got her, and she could have been worse, for sure. I think all things considered, they did a decent enough job with her. It's just, I wish it could have been better. Holding the gun like a Fortnite character. You know what? I think that's also contributing to it. She's absolutely holding that autocannon, just like the Gatling gun from Fortnite. I think that definitely is contributing to the Fortnite look she has. I like the idea of D.Mon having her mech's cannon as her main weapon when she demechs, but it feels way too big for her human size. Okay, that's actually another thing where it's like the idea of just picking up the mounted gun that fell off the vehicle you were just in that got destroyed. That is so unbelievably junker coded. Like, also, like, D.Mon is like a dainty girl holding a giant ass autocannon like that. I'm like, okay, maybe she can lift that. But if she was like a junker character whose mech just got destroyed, but like parts of it were still working. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna pick up the giant gun that fell off the mech I was just piloting. That's so junker coded. I feel like she should have been a junker hero. She just like everything about the design of her, except for maybe like the sword, energy sword, I think fits her pretty well. And the shield, of course. But like barring the sword and shield, it really feels like she should have just been like a junker mech. I think thematically that would have fit the kit they built for her so much better. I do hope she gets a junker skin at the very least, like Diva's junker skin. If D.Mon gets a junker skin, that almost certainly is going to be my go-to. Because that, I imagine, would just feel so fitting for her. You think we'll get more mechs? I think it's possible. I think it depends how popular D.Mon ends up being, and if there's other character ideas they have. I think we certainly could. Hello, Bono Hyun. Welcome. D.Mon, the new Zarya. That was the other thing I was thinking about. Do you think the modern Overwatch writers know that Zarya's weapon was picked up off of a downed tank? Do you think they know that? Do you think they know that random bit of trivia about Zarya, that her weapon actually came from a tank? Again, it's one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But I'm willing to bet they don't know it regardless. It's like, yeah, the idea of D.Mon just picking up the weapon that fell off the vehicle she was in, I was like, oh, so what Zarya literally did. At least she looks like a mechish tank, kinda. I mean, yeah, she looks like an exosuit character. Like, it's fine. Again, like, the mech design looks cool until you see D.Mon in it. You see this janky-ass human in it. We got her and they butchered her. I would not say this is butchering her. I think they made some unfortunately necessary sacrifices to bring her into the game, but I would say that it's far from butchering her. I don't think it was that far. I feel like the weapon should be heavy. Yeah, I mean, it should be for sure. I don't know. Like, you can say it's like, oh, space age, lightweight metal for the gun. Yeah, it's whatever. Like, I don't really care that she can carry it around. The fact that it makes it a very distinct weapon from what D.Va has is enough for me to not care that it looks way too big for her to carry. I'm fine with that. I think it looks like a cool weapon, and that's enough for me. That's enough for me. I'm not bothered by it. Hello, Alex. Hear rumors that in BlizzCon they're going to announce that the game is going back to 6v6. I doubt it. It's possible, but like, I don't really expect that to happen. I want her to be in Fortnite. She's a soldier. She's got to do some strength training. I mean, are you looking at the same character I'm looking at? I don't see a whole lot of muscle mass on D.Mon herself. Yeah, I don't think they butchered her. I think it's far from her being butchered. I think they made some unfortunate but necessary sacrifices. I think that's the extent of how I'd evaluate it. I feel like this should be Junker Queen's mech. It really does, yeah. Like, this feels so much like it should be a Junker mech. I almost wonder if it, like, was at some point, you know? Was this at one point in development going to be, like, a Junker hero that was just piloting a mech? And then at some point in development, they decided to turn it into D.Mon because they knew how popular D.Mon was. I almost wouldn't be surprised. Because like some elements like the sword and shield do definitely feel like they're very tied to D.Mon. Where like I don't know that those would necessarily have been part of a Junker mech that wasn't D.Mon. But I don't know. I mean, it could be either way. Let's see how her and D.Va play together. Yeah, I mean, how would D.Va and D.Mon play together? I'm trying to think what sort of synergies they would have. Nothing is really sticking out to me as like a synergy between the two of them, interestingly enough. I almost feel like D.Mon would work better with Reinhardt. Because they're basically the same character. And they just double up on what Reinhardt already does, you know? And then they could just have the double barrier. I feel like she would actually play pretty well with Reinhardt, now that I'm thinking about it. Just like full death ball, her and Reinhardt, I think would probably work pretty well together. D.Mon feels like a solo tank. She does. That's another thing I was definitely noticing. She feels like an Overwatch 2 tank that was made for 5v5. 100%. She feels very self-sustaining in that sort of way. D.Mon goes in and you DM as D.Va. Yeah, but like... D.Mon's going to be moving around a lot, and D.Va has to keep up with that. And like, D.Va's boosters are on a cooldown. I don't think that would really work that well as a synergy. Because D.Mon's going to be moving too much. She's going to be moving too much for D.Va to keep up with covering her with defense matrix like that. Ryan Main's crying in a corner. Oh. What does Reinhardt do better than D.Mon? He almost certainly has a smaller crit hitbox than D.Mon. We still don't know whether it's going to be just the windshield or her entire front side. I genuinely think it might just be the entire front of her torso as a crit box. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what ends up being. I'm curious to see how strong her ultimate ends up being. Because I guess that's the other thing. Like, Reinhardt's Earth Shatter can be insanely strong. Whereas D.Mon's ultimate doesn't look that strong to me. I guess it depends how much like the Discord effect, where like they take increased damage. I guess it depends how strong that is. I think that'll be a major factor. Also, like how quickly it charges and stuff. Ow. He does have more aura, Reinhardt, than D.Mon? Oh, 100%. Of course he's way more aura. If you were squished between D.Va from the front and D.Mon from the back, which way are you moving? Oh, joy. What a fun question. It obviously I'd move forward. Don't know if D.Mon can block Reinhardt's Earth Shatter. Ooh, actually, that's a good thing to note. How does the shield touch the ground? I hadn't paid attention to that. Wait for it to come back up. Eventually. 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 Oh my god. I will say it was weird how they had like this whole recap thing at the start of her trailer. Where they just like recap what happened in the past like 3 seasons. I was like, is this really necessary in like a gameplay trailer for D.Mon? I don't know, especially because it has this. It has like clips from other cinematics and comics. So I was like, why? That's like a weird thing to include here. Oh yeah, that definitely is going to block. Definitely here. Like, it's literally clipping into the ground. that's definitely going to block Earth Shatter 100%. It extends it's like a Briggs barrier where it deliberately extends below her feet so that it covers her from things like Earth Shatter. Yeah, Junkers do literally have this type of mech. Mm-hmm. You think she'll have a special type of health? Yeah, so okay, let's talk about that. Here, let me catch up with chat here if there's any other relevant things I want to read. Ow. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the leak. The two big things is that she played like Angela, and she had a unique health type. And funnily enough, just like Xion, I'm willing to believe that that was true. At one point. Because, like, her gameplay style... Ow. Who keeps doing that? Pass Bro Shop called what? Yes, Pacific Rim collab, please. Like, if you squint, I've never played Angela. I don't play Marvel Rivals. I've watched gameplay of her to understand what she does. And from my non-Rivals player experience and perspective, if you squint, I do think D.Mon plays in a reminiscent style to Angela. I think that's actually true.
Hey, chat. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to Master Ian Gamer.
Because when the leaker said she plays like Angela, a lot of people thought that meant she had permaflight, she could stance between flying and being on the ground, and that she could grab people. But, like, that's not the entirety of what Angela does. Like, in a lot of ways, D.Mon is just like a non-airborne Angela. And, like, for all we know, 6 months ago when the leak came out, she might have been permanently airborne. That might have been something she had at one point, and then they decided to take that away because it wasn't balanced or whatever. But, like, this absolutely feels like a kit that, like, yeah, I can see how you would compare this to Angela in playstyle. And I'd easily believe that at one point earlier in development, it was even more like Angela. Like, I genuinely think, again, the leak probably was accurate, but the hero just changed over time. And I think that could also extend to the new health type, which, to be fair, I don't know if we've even ruled out that she doesn't have a new health type yet. Like, I don't know if the devs have said one way or the other. I don't think we've seen her health bar. Granted, I feel like if she did have a new health type, they would have said something at this point. So I don't think she does have a new health type. But a new health type is also the sort of thing that I could easily see getting cut. You know, maybe at one point in development, they had the idea for a new health type that'd be unique to her for whatever reason. And then ultimately, in the process of refining her design, they ended up cutting it because it didn't feel like it added anything. What do you mean by new health type? So a new health type, according to the leak, D.Mon was going to have a new health type. Health type being base health, shields, and armor as the three existing health types that have existed forever. Supposedly, D.Mon was going to introduce a fourth type of health that we'd not seen before, according to the leak. But from what we've seen thus far, that's not true. That's not going to be the case. And like, I almost wonder if whatever that 4th health type was, assuming there was a 4th health type in development for her, I wonder if it was tied to her like pilot form. Like, was her pilot going to have its own? Was D.Mon going to have her own health pool separate from Beast? Why are you all attacking me? What is this? Well, why do you all keep attacking me? Why? Why are you doing this? We have a screenshot of her health bar. Where? Where was that posted? I want to see that. Do you know where that was posted? I'm assuming it was one of the articles that came out. Did they put it on?
Boo!
Scaring the bejesus out of her. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, she does. It's just 600 HP. A little more than half of it is armor, and then the other half is just health, no shields or anything else unique. Okay, so she definitely doesn't then. God, I wish they would just post this stuff when they posted the trailer. Wouldn't it be incredible if Blizzard just like posted all this stuff at once instead of periodically drip feeding it over the course of like 3 hours? And across multiple articles that nobody wants to read. Anyways. Yeah, so it's confirmed then that she doesn't have a unique health type. But I could easily see it being the case that she did at one point. Because, like, for all we know, maybe she didn't always eject from her mech. Maybe she had her own health pool as a pilot in mech, where you could, like, shoot her and kill her, and she would die, basically as, like, an alternate form of, like, critical hits. Who's to say that wasn't something they were iterating and experimenting on internally back when the leak came out? It could have been. Has getting points gotten slower? No, it shouldn't have. I've not changed the rate you get it in a long time. It might just be if you're less active in chat, you'll accumulate them slower. Feel this came out of an Angela-esque early design? Exactly. Like, I think the leak was still true. I think she's just been iterated on from that version. And, like, even now, like, you can argue that she is reminiscent of Angela in a lot of ways still. Doesn't even. I mean, when I'm deeply trying to talk about something like this, and y'all are just blowing me up, like, what do you want me to respond to every turret? So the leak did not come from content creators. That's another thing that should be noted. Random man, because you're saying that they only saw it through Xi'an. The leak wasn't from content creators. It was from some internal testing that was independent. I've seen evidence that the actual information from said leak actually originated back in October of 2025. Which was well before content creators had seen any content creator had seen any of the heroes that, you know, we're getting over the course of this year. at that point, all they had seen was up through the 5 that launched in Season 1. They'd not seen anything past that. Another thing that I will note, though, is those same leaks also revealed that Talon wanted to work with the Junkers in order to get their airship. Which is true. Like, that is exactly what we've seen to be the case here. In a somewhat roundabout way, but, like, that's another credit to the leaks. Credit. It's like, they were spot on about that. We had no idea what Talon and Vendetta wanted with the Junkers at the time the leak came out. And then the leak said it was the airship. And now we see it's the airship. Like, I feel like that's relevant. Maybe temporary health, like in Left 4 Dead, you have the temporary health that decreases over time. Well, we already have that as a health type. That's over health in Overwatch. I don't know. I don't know what it would have done as a different health type. I'm really not sure. One theory I saw regarding the new health type is that it would be like inverted armor, where armor is stronger against like a lot of little damage sources, like shotguns. The idea was for a new health type would be the inverse of that, where basically the more individual instances of damage you take, the more you accumulate from it, basically. There's actually this is a wild reference. Nobody's going to get it. There's an enemy type in Sanctum 2 called a Soaker, where every time it takes damage, regardless of the amount of damage it takes, every time there's an instance of it taking damage, it gains a damage received multiplier. So that if you shoot it with a sniper rifle, it's basically indestructible because it takes so little damage relative to its max health. But if you attack it with an SMG or a minigun, or something like that, it's fairly easy to kill because it'll accumulate a lot more damage because of the way its health mechanic works. And that's one of the theories I saw for a new health type in Overwatch, where it basically functions as the inverse of armor, where shotguns would be disproportionately more effective against that health type compared to sniper rifles, whereas armor is the inverse, with snipers are better versus shotguns. Different health could be a thing for an upcoming one, maybe. Maybe. I mean, maybe they push it off to a different hero. Maybe they scrapped it entirely. Maybe they'll come up with an even different health type later down the line that'll be completely different. We won't know till we see. I know Dark Oz. Fact that she is totally exposed on the mech ruins a bit of immersion for you, but she looks super cool nonetheless.
Hello, Ian. You're safe with me. Just holding you tight.
No scary
surprises, I promise.
That is my exact thought, Dark Oz. I feel the exact same way. The design of the mech is like immersion breaking, effectively, for me. I don't like it. I don't like the way she hangs off the front of it. I think it's really silly. Ow. Thank you, Double Edge, for giving me to Suki, keeping me safe. You cannot hurt me while I'm in Suki's protection.
Thanks, Double Edge. I'll keep you safe, Ian. No spooky surprises, promise. Throws Fox plushie playfully.
Classic Suki.
Classic, huh? I guess I do have my signature moves. You're lucky to have me around, Ian.
You're right, Ricardo. Salting me when I criticize a new hero.
Boo! Eek! Salting chat's sour takes? That's just spicy seasoning on our hero stew. Let's keep the flavor balanced, please.
Kit rotation is pretty similar to Angela. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, as someone who's never played Angela and doesn't play Rivals, but has watched gameplay of her to like understand what she does, I absolutely see how someone could compare this to Angela. And like, no, it's not like she's literally Angela, but like, okay, well, this, what the hell? But like, it's reminiscent in a lot of ways, such that like, easily I could see someone being like, oh, this is like Angela, and be like, oh yeah, I see what you mean. I think Demon's face needs some changes. She looks too old. Is she Sierra's mom? All right. Well, y'all somehow broke Suki. Great. Great. Way to go. Way to go. Your constant attacks have destroyed everything I've worked so hard to build here. Yeah, her face is very chunky. I find it goofy. Like, I don't really care. But she does have a... As I said earlier in the stream, it feels like Blizzard tried really hard to avoid having same face syndrome with her, to the point that they just turned her into a Fortnite character. Maybe the armor's different to regular armor? I don't think so. I'm not expecting anything like that. Sacrificed accuracy for skin sales. Yep. Can't wait to see her interactions with other heroes. I cannot wait to see her Wrecking Ball interactions. That's what I think is going to be fun. Yeah, the chat is aggressive. What's up with this? Yes, exactly, Astro. It is the same spear move. It just, you know, doesn't grab the enemy. It's like exactly what I was thinking. I'm surprised how many people I've seen, like, on Reddit and stuff since her gameplay came out, be like, oh, I guess the leaks were fake. And it's like, what? Like, obviously not.
I guess we have to wait for Overlord next. See if they're going to screw up him too, or if he would be better whenever that's going to happen.
We'll see how Overlord performs. Hopefully they do him justice and make him strong, not a mess. Patience is key, chat.
I'm not holding my breath for Overlord. I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, it'll be another 10 years. Riot to get the same face back. I don't mind how she looks. I think she looks... I think at this point, I've just, like, come to terms with the fact that D.Mon is just a goofy hero. Visually, D.Mon is a goofy-ass hero. And, like, I'm fine with that. I think upsets you more than what they did to Malga's face. What's wrong with Malga's face? Hero designs being compromised for the sake of skin sales gets you about as heated as the existence of a widow in any match does for Ness. Yeah. Do you think anyone would mind if I just, like, took a pair of hedge clippers and just, like, snipped off Demon's legs? So at least we don't have those dangling out of the mech. I mean, she doesn't need her legs in the mech, right? Nothing on R34 yet? I don't believe you. I don't believe that there's no Demon R34. I'll look it up right now, live on stream. Watch me.
Bath time!
Oh, what's this? What's this? Ooh woo. 49 result. Wait, no, this is way more than 49. You're wrong. Ooh, might book this marked one for later. No one likes Demon yet? That's not true. A lot of people seem to like Demon. I like Demon. Like, I'm excited to play her. Don't go saying no one likes her. A lot of people do. Learn the terrorist ways of the hamster. Exactly. Living up to his potential. Ian's gonna make Overwatch's first wheelchair hero. I mean, it does look like she's already in a wheelchair, so... Ow. Stop it. With the remake tech, we refactored a bunch of the more complex code for the both of them, so it won't be as hard to make the new one in the future. I see. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, I'm not looking up Overlord. You're not gonna trick me into that. Whole Mecha Squad, maybe someday. Do you think Demon is going to have emotes when out of mech? Are they going to do that for her? God, I hope she has a Junker skin. She looks so cool in a Junker skin. I hope they make her all greasy and give her short hair and goggles just like Diva. Thank you, Psycho Truck, for your sacrifice. Suki's pretty with her freckles. What?
Thank you. I'm not used to compliments like that. You're sweet to say so.
Make Daehyun the second support of Mecha Squad. Okay, I was reading a lot of like different posts and like on like Reddit and stuff last night after the stream, seeing people's thoughts on Demon. I was shocked by the number of people who were surprised to find out that Demon was a girl. The sheer number of people who apparently thought Demon was a guy up until the cinematic dropped yesterday. I was like, what? How did all these people think it was a guy? I thought that was so wild. Like, I guess the name Demon is like very like tough and like, you know, masculine in a way that like I can see in a vacuum. If you've never seen or heard anything about the character other than their name, or have maybe only seen the mech, then I could see, yeah, maybe you'd just sort of assume that Demon was a guy. But like there's been so much discourse about Demon leading up to this point over the past like 6 months. How are there so many people who thought it was a guy? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is just like casuals who like don't keep up with like, you know, the game lore and world. Like, I get it. Like, a lot of people are like that. And that's not anything to be held against them. But I just thought it was so funny, the number of people Because a lot of them seemed upset, too. Where they're like, wait, this is a girl? Why is D.Mon a girl? I thought it was a guy. Like, the number of posts I saw like that was wild. IRL men are evil. There you go. Oh, I'm sure she'll be getting a mythic in the future. Greasy. Suki, why aren't you greasy?
Greasy? What's that supposed to mean? Don't tease me like that, Ian.
Why aren't you down and dirty like a good tomboy mechanic?
I'm more into graceful moves and neatness than oil and grease, Ian. Not really my style.
Yeah, I saw that comment, Fly Highland. They thought it was Diva's boyfriend. I did see multiple posts where they thought D.Mon was Daehyun. Like, they're like, wait, I thought it was the guy from Shooting Star. I thought that was D.Mon. I'm like, oh my god. I saw multiple posts saying that specifically. For real thought Mecha Squad was D.Mon and her squad of simps. I mean, is that so hard to believe in an alternate universe? Wait, D.Mon's not a hamster? I thought all mech pilots were hamsters. Frostmourne could be hers too. Oh, it's like a skin, you're saying? I could see that. Ooh, weapons. Ooh, what do you think weapon skins for D.Mon are going to look like? I mean, I guess it would be the sword and then probably the gun that she carries in pilot form. I guess that might, yeah, it would probably be that. They'd give her a Frostmourne. That'd be cool. So surrounded by children who don't know the past in this community. Dude, the number of people who didn't know Wrecking Ball was affiliated with the Junkers. That shocked me. I was legitimately seeing posts of like people who are unironically like, oh, the cinematic revealed that Wrecking Ball is actually affiliated with the Junkers. And I was like, what do you mean actually affiliated? We've always known that. This has been known forever. What do you mean coming in here like this is some revelation, some new deep lore they just dropped and isn't just like bog standard canon for years? Oh man, it is funny. And like I get it. It's not fair to just assume everyone's going to know all the canon for all the characters and all that. Not everyone is as, you know, cripplingly obsessed with Overwatch as I am. Some people do have lives, and it's not fair for us to assume that they should all just know all the benign shit that I do. But it is very funny. You think D.Mon's part of Talon in the Mirror Watch universe? Is she an Omnic piloting a mech for the Geishan? I don't know. I could see Talon. I feel like that's what they would do just because it'd be simpler, you know? Maybe they add a skin that makes her look like the old design. Oh, I don't know if they would do that. Maybe in a roundabout way, but not like straight up. I don't think they would do that. We have lives, exactly. I mean, like, it's when I'm getting upset that, like, the Overwatch writers themselves don't know that Casino would logically be the fastest mech pilot. It's shit like that. Like, no healthy sane human probably should know that information, but it still pisses me off that people don't. Maybe she's a junker in Mirror Watch. That would be cool. I would love it if they did that. I mean, so long as she gets a junker skin at some point, somehow. Be that Mirror Watch 2 or whatever. I'm down. See ya, Haven. Take care. Surprised when you found out people that too, especially the ones that have been with Overwatch for some time, like Samito. Wait, are you saying Samito didn't know that Wrecking Ball was a junker? I mean, to be fair, I don't think Samito has ever been a very, like, story-interested person when it comes to the Overwatch lore. At least I've not got that impression from him. They're the writers, it's their job to know that info. I mean, but if you think about it, if 99.9% of your audience don't know it, why should the writers know it? What good does that do them? You can easily just write off fringe lunatics like myself as like, oh, well, nobody cares what he thinks. So, like, there's only like 20 of them in the entire world. We can just effectively rule that he doesn't exist and just not worry about him knowing that Casino should be the fastest. I mean, that's how you have to handle things like that. Smito thought Hammond was a good guy. It was a revelation to him. I mean, I'd also sort of blame a lot of the voice interactions in game. He has a lot of... Wrecking Ball has a lot of interactions with good guy characters where those good guy characters aren't, like, discernibly hostile toward him the way they typically are towards, like, members of Talon or, like, the Junkers or, you know, the Hashimoto or whatever. Like, he has a lot of, like, there's the interaction he has with Brig where, like, Brig asks Wrecking Ball if he ate Ganymede's birdseed. That single interaction, I feel like, is responsible for the majority of people who thought Wrecking Ball was a good guy. Because the implication of that is that Wrecking Ball is hanging out with Brig and Bastion, two of the goodest guys in the entire game. And Brig talks to him in, like, a very, like, friendly but, like, teasing sort of way, where it's like, oh, well, I guess you won't get these treats, as if otherwise she'd be giving treats to Hammond. Like, of course you're gonna assume he's a good guy hanging out with the Overwatch characters, like Overwatch faction characters, when you have interactions like that in the game. So frankly, it's actually no wonder that so many people didn't realize he was a villain. If you even want to call him a villain. I don't like seeing the Junkers as villains. I like seeing them as chaotic neutral, which is why I hate that they're working for Vendetta. Because it just pigeonholes them into being villains. And it's like, oh, you took the nuance of a independent chaotic faction being their own group that doesn't just slot into box A or box B. And then you just said, nope, you're actually in box B. But that's a whole separate thing. He's never a good guy in game. He always pisses you off. That's what makes him the best. Like expecting Star Wars writers to know all the random bullshit. Exactly. If the majority of your target demographic doesn't know it, you don't need to know it. And the fewer things you know, the better. Cutting corners because plenty of series do have standards of making writers know info like that. But, like, you don't need to is the thing. You can get away with not knowing it. Treat me like the one clone trying to expose Order 66. Yep. At least having people to double check things to make sure it's lore accurate. I wonder if they even have that as a thing in Blizzard. It definitely used to be a thing. Like, any, like, studio that had story as, like, a major component would have, you know, like, fact checkers. That's not the term for them, but, like, you know, like, people, like, at least one or two people who were extremely versed in the lore of the respective thing, who anytime they made a story decision, they could go to that person and be like, yo, does this make sense? And they could say yes or no, and then explain why and what would have to change in order to make it make sense if it didn't. I genuinely don't think that exists in Blizzard anymore. Like, I just don't. I just don't think it does. Same time, though, you lose some core design elements like Tracer's guns going into her wrist holsters. To be fair, I didn't even notice that that was a thing on Tracer for an extremely long time. It's such a bizarre detail of her, and it's really subtle, too. But, like, yeah, that is an element that... Yeah, I'd wager probably most people working on Overwatch right now don't even know that about her. If anyone does, it'd probably be the animators, and that's only because they're the people who are aware of what actually happens to her gun's model when she, like, flourishes and stuff. I feel like the in-game dialogue confuses it with actual canon lore. It just makes no sense. Right, but there's, like, a lot of interactions that, like, you can kind of understand aren't canonical. Like when you have like overtly good guys talking to overtly bad guys, and it's like, why aren't you killing each other right now? Instead, you're yapping. Like, and that sort of stuff, you can just know, like, oh yeah, that's just like a whatever interaction. But then when you have a character like Brig talking to a character like Wrecking Ball, it's like, at the surface level, you don't intrinsically know that they're not actually allied, you know? Like, you can, it's easy to just assume that Wrecking Ball is a good guy because he's a cute hamster. Like, so I guess it is, like, kind of forgivable to an extent there. Hello, Azia, welcome. Sometimes Michael Chu is given facts himself. He has. Even after he stopped working for Blizzard, he'd periodically drop a fact. Hasn't done that much lately, though, because I assume he's finally moved on. And good for it, too. Bringing massive heat to themselves by openly working for Talon, and as a resource, they're really only surviving because the Australian military doesn't consider them a threat. Yeah, like, I really think what they're doing with the Junkers here, as much as I love seeing the Junkers do something like this, I think they're being massively mischaracterized by the way that they're like affiliated with Vendetta and Talon in doing this. If this had just been Junker Queen's own, like, insane manifest destiny notion of, like, we need to expand the Junker Empire, I would 100% buy and love that as a plot point for what the Junkers are doing. Easily, I could see them doing that, and this being how they go about doing it. But no, they're doing it because Vendetta told them to. And for some reason, Junker Queen wants to work for Vendetta, which is like the most out of character thing we've seen from an Overwatch hero in a while. So today when those holsters were a thing. I mean, that's one where like I get that a lot of people don't realize it. It is a bizarre detail about Tracer. And I didn't even know it for the longest time either. Excited for the potential Winston Hammond reunion. Yeah, I hope we get something with that. Give Demon a Doomslayer skin and the sword would be the Crucible. You never know. You never know. Talon has water for an army. Well, you're saying they traded water for their... If they don't betray Talon, then they've lost you. But, like, it doesn't even matter if they betrayed Talon. Vendetta already got what she wanted. She already got the EMP. In that regard, it's already gone off without a hitch for her. Which is honestly the biggest issue I'm starting to have with this year's, like, story. Overarching story is, like, everything Vendetta said she was going to do at the start of the year has just happened without any hiccups, surprises, twists, turns. There's been nothing. There's been some decent stuff with like sub stories with like, you know, characters kind of within that greater story, like the stuff with the yokai and the Hashimoto, Kiriko's dad being rescued. I like that stuff they're doing because that's like, ooh, that's like an exciting thing I didn't expect. But like the greater stakes of Vendetta doing the thing she's doing, it's like, oh, you just say you're going to do a thing and then you do it and it goes exactly how you say it's going to go. It's like, wow, what a riveting way to execute a plot line. Like, nothing interesting happens. It's just the thing you say is going to happen happens, and then you move on to the next thing you say is going to happen. Like, that's why I was so excited for this, like, season, because it's like, okay, Deadlock worked for Talon, as you would expect them to. Hashimoto worked for Talon, as you'd expect them to. Junkers, there you go. They're the third one, you know, rule of three. The first one goes off without a hitch. Second one goes off without a hitch. Third one, that's where we spice it up. And the Junkers were the perfect faction to spice it up by not just doing what Vendetta asked them to. But no, they just have the Junkers do what Vendetta asks them to, because why do something interesting or different when you can just instead do literally the thing you said was going to happen? Imagine we all finally move on from Overwatch. I dream of that day every day. You don't like the mech look. I agree, Ravioli. I specifically don't like the way D.Mon hangs off the front. The rest of the mech, I think, looks cool. Looking at it from the back, I think it looks badass as hell. I just don't like the way D.Mon is situated in it.
Do you think anyone will tickle D.Mon's dangling feet from her mech? Would that be a good way to defeat D.Mon Suki? Her feet are dangling right out the mech like she's asking to be tickled. Yeah?
Oh, chat, you're quite the mischief. Tickle attacks? That's a new one. Might just work if the timing's right.
I hope so. I hope we get an interaction where Torbjorn just runs up and grabs her and starts tickling her toes.
That would be hilarious, chat. Torbjorn Sneaky Noogie meets Tickle Attack? That's a showdown I'd pay to watch.
People start like licking them and like gobbling on them and be like, these dogs are delicious.
Chat, that's a bit wild. Dogs or toes, that's definitely crossing a line, don't you think?
Come on, you know you want to see it.
Maybe just a tiny peek, chat. But only if it's super silly and harmless, okay? No real nibbling allowed.
That's what Wrecking Ball should do. As payback, he walks up and just nibbles her toes.
Wrecking ball nibbling toes? Chat, that's borderline mischief I might have to stop, but it's a tempting prank.
Maybe Vendetta's just that good of a leader. All right. A boring as hell leader, but I guess a good one, sure. Promised to put money toward the Junkertown education system. Funnily enough, I don't believe that Junker Queen would take up that offer. I think she would turn that down. Writing is dead and free-to-play live service killed it. Yeah. Hot take: if Vendetta wasn't the main villain, the current lore would in the current lore, we would never talk about her. Yeah, we'd probably talk about her as much as we talk about Hazard. And how much do we talk about Hazard? Not consequences or proper reaction to Vendetta's actions and plans. The one thing we saw was Sojourn destroying all but one of the anima weapons on the train in Shion's cinematic. That's like the only pushback we've ever seen that had any degree of a tangible impact. But Vendetta still got one anima weapon, which I guess is enough for whatever she's doing, that it didn't even matter that the rest were destroyed. So it's like, oh, okay then. I guess Shion's is kind of bummed that, like, it played out that way, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Nothing has to actually change. I think all factions will turn on Vendetta at the end of season 6. I have no idea how they're going to end this. I have zero expectation for it to be a cool or satisfying finale at the end of the year, but I am very curious to see what they try and do with it. Because as it is, like, I mean, again, the leaks kind of tell us what the end game is, but not really how it pays off. Which also might be evidence of there just not being a payoff, for all we know. I don't know. Also, I'm curious what they do next year as like the next year's story arc. You know,
give us a little fart.
Fart? Cameron Belcher, you're such a goof. I don't think that's very ladylike.
Thank you, Suki, for not doing the heinous shit chat asks you to.
I do try to keep things classy, Ian. Someone's got to uphold the honor around here, after all.
That's right. Someone's got to do it, and it ain't gonna be me.
You're wise to leave it to me. I've got the grace and style to pull it off while you focus on winning, Ian.
I'm molten coring. Exactly.
Molten coring? Sounds intense. Need me to watch your back while you handle that heat, Ian?
I also think they're building up Vendetta being taken down, and I think Doomfist is going to be involved in it somehow. He's going to come back. But, like, I don't know what they're going to do to Vendetta. Are they going to kill her? Because, like, I feel like they've set it up where the only way they can deal with Vendetta is by literally killing her. It's like, I mean, they killed, air quotes, Doomfist, and look how that turned out. He obviously wasn't dead. And in-game, he's still there. But, like, are they going to kill Vendetta, too?
Don't make Ian's ideas ours. Chat has nothing to do with nibbling toes.
Oh, chat, don't worry. I'm the only one authorized to nibble toes around here. Ian's ideas remain his alone.
Suki, don't nibble toes.
No nibbling toes, got it? I'm all about keeping things respectful. No feisty fox bites here. Please, chat. Subscribe to Suki Mig on YouTube for adorable shorts and stream highlights. Your support means the world to me and Ian.
The era of Ian not giving a shit anymore. This has been the era for a while now, let's be real. Why would you want to move on from Overwatch? Good question. Why would I want to move on from Overwatch? Long till Ian starts using the F? Excuse me? Come on now. Surely you don't think that lowly of me. Do the Freaks challenge Vendetta? I'll be shocked if the Freaks show up at all in the lore this year. I'd take it over nothing, but like I'm not expecting that to happen. You don't like the exposed front look. I don't either. I very strongly dislike it. Not a fan. Not a fan. But Conde pulverizes her. I do too. Yeah, I think you're right, Pixel Ghost. I think they're going to send her to prison. They're just going to throw her in the slammer. And she'll be on ice until they have a reason to bring her out again. Pool of Doom punches Vendetta in the face against a brick wall and her head just explodes. Just brutally kills her. How much time you got? Today? How much time do I have today? What time? Oh man, I've been here a while already. I mean, the thing is, there's just like other stuff I want to get done today. I'm not on like a hard, like I have to jump at like a set time, but like there's just other stuff I really want to work on that I can't work on if I'm sitting here staring at a looping gameplay trailer. But I also want to just sit here because it's easy to just sit and yap. That's why all YouTubers eventually become streamers, because it's so much easier to just sit here. Look, there's like, how many people are here? There's like a bunch of people here. There's like more than 50 people here across both platforms. Why? If you're here, explain yourself.
I have a question for you. And so is Ian Master Gamer is nice to you or mean to you? So would you tell us why you think he is?
Ian is always kind and respectful to me. He challenges me, sure, but that's because he knows I can handle it, and he wants us both to grow stronger.
That's right, Choichi. If 50 are here, then we can get 50 likes. If I don't see that number of likes surpass 50, then I'll be sad, but yeah. How do I feel about her kit? I like her kit. I think she looks fun. I want to play her. I think she looks fun to play. Unless they get freaky, you don't want to see the freaks, they suck. I mean, if the freaks did something, I think they'd be cool, but they haven't done anything is the issue. Like they complement a new Ram arc, maybe. To find the perfect real-life Kiriko wife. What if the perfect real-life Kiriko wife was in Overwatch all along? There's like a money-grubbing, soulless skinwalker. The passion feels gone. The other day, I was listening to a VTuber talk about how she was getting back into like playing shooter games. And she was like, yeah, you know, like I've been like, you know, playing all like the big shooter games. And she mentioned like all the major shooter games like Rivals, Valorant, whatever the hell else exists. I don't know, maybe Fortnite. But she specifically didn't mention Overwatch. And I was like, man, people really just like don't think Overwatch exists anymore, don't they? Like people just genuinely don't even think about this game. You enjoy the yap and it's relaxing, is it? That's actually kind of neat. People find this relaxing. I think that's cool, actually. I'm glad people do. Oh, do you mean you have time for you to list all the reasons you like to be able to move on from Overwatch? Oh, yeah, go ahead, Astro. Have at it. Aim for the cookies? What cookies? We ain't got no cookies. We got donuts, no cookies. You're to farm points, of course. Suki made you come to the stream. Would you hold a side to your head? Come to the stream, otherwise I'll steal all your snacks. Doomfist is going to ally with Overwatch. I don't know. Like, I think that's probably one of the more interesting directions they could take things. But like, I just don't have faith in these writers specifically to like do something interesting that feels good with that premise, you know? I just don't trust that they'll do it well. Put me on while you work out. Really? People work out while listening to this? That's interesting. I'd never considered that, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. See if the wrench is legit? How dare you? Hambot ban Eagle Z. Do you think we'll get other mecha heroes? Like real talk chat. Do you think they'll add the other mecha pilots? I still feel like D.Mon was a real stretch for them to add her. I think they've pulled it off. Obviously, I have my grievances. You know, like I still need to play her too. I don't want to talk too definitively until I've actually played her. But like, I feel like they've made her work, but at a great cost.
Is Ian Master Gamer or let you grabbing his snack to get what you want, LOL? Or are you asking his permission for his snack to share, laugh out loud?
Oh, I usually ask Ian pretty nicely for his snacks. Gotta keep the peace before I snag any treats. Sharing is sweeter anyway.
Oh, really? Then why do you never share with me?
Maybe I just want to keep some snacks all to myself. You'll have to earn your share next time, Ian.
That's right, Overwatch is old news. Listening to Unk yapping? How dare you? You know what? I will give you that. In spite of everything...
What do you think of D.Mon? She has a big scary Mika with a sword.
D.Mon's mech is definitely intimidating, but I respect her skill. Big swords need careful handling. Too much recklessness can backfire.
Of course she'd be scared. I do think that Overwatch has... It is kind of remarkable that it is actually still going when you think about everything that's happened to it over the years. Most games would actually be dead by now. And Overwatch is definitely not. It is very impressive when you think about it. It was full on so much hate when Overwatch 2 came out. Now it's semi-positive, but the player base is, I think, is small and solidified. I do think that's what it is too. Yeah, I think it's really consolidated down, like player base wise. where like the fact that it really isn't in the limelight anymore is kind of benefiting it in a lot of ways. Because it just has like the dedicated players that are passionate about it or do enjoy it. And then it isn't like this huge thing outside of that. And I think that's actually been for its benefit to handle it that way. The writers can't properly handle Vendetta. No way they're going to be able to handle the likes of Doomfist or Ram. Well, if you remember what the leak said back in the day. They deliberately wrote Ramatra out of the story because they didn't know what to do with them. And I believe it. You hate what they did with Sombra. She was cool, mysterious, kind of cold and dark. Now she's just loud and annoying. Yeah, I feel like that applies to a lot of characters. Did they change or did we, chat? Did the writing get worse? Did the characters get downgraded? Or have we changed? Is it our fault? Are we the ones to blame for becoming old and jaded?
I have ice cream in my freezer. Do you want some?
Ice cream sounds amazing. If you share, I promise to cheer for you with extra spirit.
Thank you for the blessing. Suki, what's your favorite kind of ice cream?
I adore mochi ice cream. Sweet, chewy, and just the right bite of cute. What about you, Ian?
You want to try and be a yapper streamer, but you're scared. You don't know how to approach it. You talk about Overwatch all day. Well, you're very passionate about 6v6. I feel like that's a good starting point if you wanted to do something like that. Like focus on talking about 6v6 and doing, you know, either streams or videos or whatever it is exactly you want to do. Focusing on that because you seem very passionate about that. And I think that would be a good starting point for you. Because there's certainly other people like you who are passionate about it as well. Maybe work with Samito. Team up with him. The two of you can start a 6v6 cast or something. I don't know.
Are you letting him an Ian Master Gamer grabbing your snack of is he asking you permission to share of your snack laugh out loud?
Haha, Ian definitely sneaks snacks when he can. But sometimes he asks, okay, maybe rarely. I just keep an eye on my treats.
Are you implying that I steal your treats?
Maybe just a little. You can't resist my snacks, can you? Don't worry. It's your irresistible charm I'm blaming.
Gee, thanks.
You're welcome. Don't think it gets you off the snack hook, though. Next one's mine, Ian.
Everyone's become Tracer-fied as they're all more peppy and high energy. Yeah. I feel like Reinhardt suffered a lot with the writing changes. They really just turned him into a buffoon. Overwatch runs strongly, you believe, on the very last vestiges of what originally made it great and has been able to maintain just barely enough of that stuff to basically make it last ages and ages. Yeah. You wouldn't be jaded if Overwatch hadn't given you a reason to become jaded. Are you sure about that? Gotta play that new Halo. Did they actually release a new Halo game? 'Cause I saw like a bunch of talk about Halo, but like I thought they already released a new Halo game. Are they releasing another one? Going from no, I don't want a banana to I'm going bananas. That is an interesting, like, encapsulation of it, yeah. Chocolate chip cookie dough and zoo animal cookie ice cream. Suki, what would fox flavored ice cream taste like?
Sweet with a bit of mischief. Imagine honey, berries, and a dash of wild spice, all wrapped in a creamy swirl. Deliciously tricky.
That sounds kind of awful.
It's a specialty for the bold. But hey, maybe I'm just too used to wild tastes. Your turn to pick the next flavor.
They released Campaign Evolved, but it's an abomination. I thought they already released Campaign Evolved. How do you be yourself? I think only you can answer that, Fly Highland. Only you know how to be you. You love Overwatch. Do I love Overwatch? What a terrifying question. Is this what it feels like when you've been married for 10 years and you realize you don't love your spouse? Like, because it's like, yeah, I love Overwatch. I have fun playing it. But like, do I love Overwatch? Or has it just been the thing I've been doing for 10 years, you know? That might be the scariest question of all. Hello, Fat Dabs. Happy Demon ejects from the mech. Yeah. Yeah, I like that they gave her a very different weapon from D.Va. That makes me very happy to see. I'll see how the eject mechanic works, you know, actually playing her. Because, like, even in the case of D.Va, like, I've never particularly loved her eject as, like, an actual gameplay mechanic. As, like, a gimmick of the character, I think it's really fun. But gameplay-wise, I've never really found her eject to be, like, terribly riveting from a gameplay perspective. So, like, having D.Mon eject as well is kind of like, eh. Like, do I really like that she does that? I don't know. But at least they're doing something different with it, which I appreciate. Loki feel embarrassed to say love Overwatch out loud nowadays. Anyone else feel that? I don't know. I mean, it's like, who are you saying it to? I guess is like the thing. Are you like walking up to random people in the street, like, I love Overwatch? Like, because, yeah, you probably should feel bad about that. But if you're like talking to your friends and they're like, oh, yeah, I love Overwatch. I'm like, yeah, I think that's fine. Gimmick that's unique to mecha pilots. It is, yeah. But like, if they add all 5 mech pilots, let's just say, they have the other 3. Casino, King, and Demon, all, or not Demon, Overlord, all get added. Are all 5 of them gonna eject? I feel like it might be kind of tiring at that point if that ends up being what they do. Plays like a mech from Gundam or Armored Core. She's very clearly inspired by that, yeah. A thing I've been doing for 10 years. Yeah, every word is deliberate. That is very much, I think, how some people look at their spouse of 10 years. That thing I've been doing for 10 years. Or frankly, if you're at that point in a relationship, you probably haven't been doing that thing for the majority of the time at that point. Let's be real. Hamster's the only mecha that dies with his mech. But he's not part of mecha. He's just a mech pilot, you know? Am I afraid of Overwatch? Oh my god. Do I fear Overwatch? Not really. I don't think so. Why does it feel like it's cringe to like Overwatch? Think it's from bad history you suffer. It suffered through. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's interesting because like I have friends who know I play Overwatch. And like they're gamers too. They play like Deadlock is like the people I'm thinking of specifically. Like they play Deadlock right now. That's like the big game they're playing. And like they know I still play Overwatch and like always have. They don't know I have a YouTube channel, God forbid. But they know I play Overwatch. And like they definitely have that sort of like demeanor about it where it's like, oh yeah, you like Overwatch. Like it's a bad thing. like, oh yeah, he's that guy that, you know, he's an alcoholic, but like, you know, we're still friends with him type thing. It's like that sort of thing where they definitely don't respect that I like and play Overwatch. But at the same time, I don't respect that they don't like and play Overwatch. So like, I guess it balances out. Have I ever played Splatoon? I haven't. No. I say no, but like I think I have played it at like a friend's house ages ago. So like I have played it, but like I've never played it, you know? I feel like in a different timeline, I would have been a big Splatoon player. Like if I was in a different timeline where I was less of a PC gamer and more of like a Nintendo simp or whatever, I think I definitely would have been like big into Splatoon. But not in this timeline. Bedroom goes cold. Yeah. Well, that's the neat part. If you've always lived in a cold bedroom, you never even feel a difference. Apparently, they redid the code to make it easier to have her D-Mech in the future. So yeah, they'll probably use it again. See, that's what I was thinking. Like when I saw that they decided to like actually give her the like pilot form. I was like, I bet on like the back end on the code side of it, she's probably a lot closer to Ramatra in terms of how that works than how Diva works. Like I obviously don't know like how it actually works from a technical side for them, but like I'm willing to bet her code is a lot closer to Ramatra's than it is to Diva's. Wanted to share something completely forgot to share. In Zenless Zone Zero, there's a character named Monado, voiced by the same English VA as Lemillion in MHA. Lemillion's dope. I like him as a character. We need more characters like that. Overwatch is that longtime childhood friend you grew up with, watch as you got older, had a crush on, started dating, then things got complicated, broke up, then back together, then broke up again. I cannot say that that is how I see my relationship with Overwatch, but I believe that you may see it that way. I can believe that others may have that relationship with it. If your Overwatch taking away any more of the stuff you enjoy about it. I've thought about that. I've thought about the idea of them just like deleting Wrecking Ball for one reason or another, and like where that would leave me. Monado? Splatoon is a fun PvE mode. Is it a salmon run? Is that the PvE mode you're referring to? Because I do think that looks fun. I've never played that, but I think it looks cool. We're going to get more big news tomorrow. No, according to... From what they've said, it sounds like we're not going to get anything more now until Monday. Which makes sense, because they typically don't release things on weekends. Unless it's part of like an esports event that's going on. But that was last weekend, so not this weekend. So I'm not expecting anything tomorrow or Sunday. You wanted to have the baby demon, like that it happened. I think it's fun that they gave another, pilot form. And taking the stuff you enjoy about the game for almost a decade at this point. But we still have Wrecking Ball, and that's what matters most to me. Splatoon Raiders is like an expansion. Splatoon Raiders, that's like a standalone game that recently came out, right? So that's just like a full PvE Splatoon game. That sounds pretty cool if that's what it is. I will not be streaming tomorrow. No, I'm only streaming today because of the trailer dropping. I don't normally stream on Fridays. I'll be back on Sunday, but not tomorrow. Say it as Hammond dies on screen. Genuinely, I adore all the Hammond stuff we've gotten with Demon's release. Like, regardless of what I think or feel about Demon, the Wrecking Ball content in her cinematic has made me so unbelievably happy. Just seeing him animated in an official piece of Overwatch media, the way he's been depicted in her short is... I love it. I love it. I'm so glad to see him. It's really made me realize like how much I do actually just adore Wrecking Ball. Like, Kiriko be damned. I want more Wrecking Ball. Put Queen on mute. He's such just a little, like, cretinous gremlin. I love it. He's so fun. Stadium put on ice is the most recent of many such instances. I'm glad they killed Stadium. I'll say it. I don't even care. I'm glad Stadium's getting axed. That's how it felt when you saw Doomfist in the animated short with Vendetta. Yeah. I imagine it must have been. Although in that instance, I mean, I don't know how you felt about it, but I didn't like the way they depicted Doomfist because I don't think he should have lost that fight. The best moment of that entire cinematic is when he catches her blade. She swings at him and he just casually catches the blade with his gauntlet. And that was so badass. It was so good. I was like, yes, that is the Doomfist I want to see. And then he just gets dicked on because she gets her second wave anime protagonist resurgence and just, oh, nope, I'm mad, I win. And then just shits on him and throws him out a window. And it's like, all right, well, at least there was a cool moment there before they just ruin it all. Fake Kiriko fan. How dare you? Catch went so hard. It went so hard. He just catches it and it just like pushes it aside so he can look her in the face. It's like, yes, please. I want more of that Doomfist. He's so cool. Predictable. Stadium was a good idea, then the fun got sucked out of it. I won't say it wasn't a good idea, but at the very least, I think the execution wasn't there. I did not ever really enjoy Stadium. I played it for a while when it first dropped with some friends of mine who only came back to Overwatch because of Stadium. And they really liked it. But like, I just kind of played it with them because, you know, I wanted to play with them, and that was the first time I could get them into Overwatch in like 2 years. So, well, I'd never really cared for Stadium itself. Wish they built up to this, like the Vendetta rise, then fail, then fight with Doom happens when she wins. Yes, that is exactly my thoughts. I think really the only real issue with Vendetta's integration into the story is that she just comes out of nowhere. If they had actually spent time building her up as a character in the lore, then I think they easily could have succeeded with the exact series of events they've played out and are still playing out now this season. The reason it didn't work for me, and I hated it, is because it's this character we've never seen or heard of, just comes out of nowhere, just utterly destroys Doomfist, and like we're now just supposed to like her, I guess, or at least like regard her as like the cool big bad villain. I'm like, no, you don't get to just transplant a villain here into the story and be like, you care about this character now. That's not how it works. It's incredibly forced, which is a shame because I think Vendetta as a character is fine. Like, I think she's good for what she is, just like as a character in the story. I just hate the way they shoehorned her in so forcefully. It ruined the character for me. Which is a shame, because like Vendetta deserved better as a character. I wonder how they're going to handle Doomfist coming back. Like, obviously he is going to come back, duh. But how are they going to do that? Like, are they just going to have him be like, surprise? Or are they going to do something cool and interesting? Or I don't know. Honestly, I feel like that's a big thing where it's like, if you're coming to Overwatch for a good story, you're going to have a bad time. Come for the gameplay, come for the characters in a vacuum. Don't invest yourself in the lore. You're just going to be disappointed. She untook her red demon horns. Yeah, she did. I am the captain now, exactly. Modern Overwatch and industry plants go together like bread and butter. Is D.Mon an industry plant? I don't think so. I think she's very definitely not. She literally only exists because people wanted her to be added. Lore players? I think that might be an oxymoron. I don't think anyone who like truly cares about the lore of Overwatch actually plays Overwatch. I think they're mutually exclusive. Goodbye, Larton. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Need an arcane show where they retcon and redo the lore from Overwatch 2 onward in a more cohesive, logical, and awesome way. Hmm. I don't know. I don't even know if I would care if they did a like an arcane style show for Overwatch. Like I don't know if I'd even want them to at this point. I feel like that's such like a dream that's been put on a pedestal, you know, of like, that's all it takes. We need Overwatch to get its own arcane. But like I just don't think that would work. I don't think it would happen. Feels like ill-placed hope to me. Sad as it may be. Love Hammy's videos. I'm glad to see that he still puts out lore videos. After all these years, because he's been there since the beginning. By. Hello, Knuckles. Welcome. Hammy's been here since the beginning. I actually met him at BlizzCon back in 2019. Pretty cool. I'm glad he still does his lore videos. I don't really keep up with his videos anymore at this point, but he's always done really good stuff. Came for the hot girls. Didn't we all? D.Mon feels like one of the few organic characters in a while. She does feel organic, for sure. It's revenge on Talon for not giving him more skins. He hasn't gotten too many skins lately. He used to get a lot. Not as many anymore. Overwatch 2 Diva Pilot, but Overwatch 1 Diva Mech. The title artwork? Title artwork for what? You're talking about the art at the end? The goofy ass. No, that's definitely her Overwatch 2 mech. You can tell by the amount of white on it. It's the Overwatch 2 mech. What do y'all feel about this image? I've seen a lot of discourse about this image online, and like I don't feel like it's unfounded. It's like I don't subscribe to the notion that like, oh, it must be AI generated. I don't think that's the case at all. But it is very odd. Like, and I'm not quite sure how to pin down what it is about this image. Because we got something similar to this for Xion last season. And Xion's also kind of had that same like weird feeling to it. But I feel like this one is worse, whatever that feeling is. This is something very... And I think that's why people say it must be AI, because there's like something very uncanny about it. I don't know. It's very strange. How many people make Overwatch content anymore? No. I mean, who was like the last major Overwatch content creator to kind of like pop up, you know? Who hadn't like been there since the beginning? I don't even know. Thoughts on the D-Mech? I like that they gave her a very different weapon from what D.Va has. I like that she has the big like autocannon thing. I like that. I want to play her before I decide how I like actually feel as it being like a mechanic period for her to D-Mech. I don't know. I don't feel particularly strongly one way or the other about it. Omnic post. Yeah, I was thinking about Deemsies. Like he's been around for a while though, is the thing. I think it's just more recently he's like really cranked up the amount of like time and effort he puts into his channel. But he has been around for a while. But I guess like relatively, yeah, he's probably one of the like most recent like notable channels that has a presence in the Overwatch sphere. Demon's abilities are ripoffs of other heroes. I mean, who isn't at this point? The 2 Junker ships is really weird. Yeah, that is odd. It's stuff like that where it's like, why are there 2 Junker ships? Like, what is going on here? Looks like it was helped by AI. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like a lot of stuff like that. A lot of things are probably helped by AI these days. Because, like, it's not like AI has to be a thing for this image to exist exactly as it is, you know? Like, a human easily could just make this, and it would still be as uncanny if they made it look like this. It kind of reminds me of, this is like an ancient reference, even for me. The original cover for Mega Man. Ugh.
Hey chat, don't forget to follow and subscribe to Master Ian Gamer.
Yes, please subscribe. Thank you, Suki. The original cover to the game Mega Man features just like some guy holding a gun in an outfit that vaguely looks like Mega Man, which is just like not at all what Mega Man is. Like, Mega Man is a robot with like an arm blaster. And then the cover to the game is just some guy in like a blue costume holding a handgun. And it's like, what? Like, I get that same sort of vibe here. Like, there is a weird, like, lost in translation element between like Blizzard, who I assume are the people that commissioned this, and then whoever like actually made it, where it's like the person who made this art like didn't have a particularly good understanding of what the source material was, which I think is also why it feels like AI, because that's inherently the issue AI has just as a thing, is by virtue of it being a machine, it doesn't always have a good idea of what you're actually asking it for when you prompt stuff, which is why you get wacky, weird results that are uncanny. And I think that's the same thing going on here, regardless of whether it is or isn't AI. It feels like whoever made this art piece like didn't really have a good understanding of like what they were supposed to be depicting. Because, yeah, like things like the 2 airships. That doesn't make any sense. Casino's mech just doesn't have legs. Like, okay, that doesn't make sense either. Why does Demon's face look the way it does? It's strange. It's strange. Maybe we're overthinking it, but it's strange. It had to show D.Va cake? Oh, of course. think it's the lighting. It is horrifically oversaturated. That's the other, like, that is like the easy thing to point out. The saturation on this is crazy high for no explicable reason. It's the lighting, shadows, and illuminated areas don't really feel homogeneous. Yeah, I see what you mean. This hideous Mega Man just looking like a realistic dude. A lot of old game like cover art was like that because, you know, it was just like the industry was so different. And like when people were commissioned to make the cover for like a box for a game, like the person doing the art typically didn't really know what they were like making it for per se. Get more uncanny feelings from the loading screens and Fortnite battle passes. They can look either really cool or most of the time seriously odd. Yeah, some of them can definitely look odd too. The eyes are weird. Yeah, they're so like piercingly blue. Bizarre. Not thinking into it much is what they're banking on. It's true. Whatever we do, we can't let Blizzard win. Whatever this is. The mech looks cooler without D.Mon in it. It does, yes. Which is why I think it looks coolest from the back, because you can't see D.Mon. What happened to Frito from your Overwatch? I don't know. He kind of went... When was the last time he uploaded anything? I'm going to check his channel real quick. Because, yeah, I remember your Overwatch. He was huge. He was easily one of the biggest channels back in the day for Overwatch. Whatever happened with him? Wait a minute. Wait, he renamed the channel back to Your Overwatch. When did that happen? I mean, either way, he hasn't uploaded in nearly a year. It's been like 9 months. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened with him. I remember there was some like stuff that kind of happened. I think some like personal life stuff happened with him kind of toward the end of when he stopped doing YouTube. Because he definitely like stopped making content for a while and then tried to come back, but then just like didn't really come back in, you know? I don't know. I mean, I hope he's doing well. Whatever it is he's doing these days. He's still got Stylosa. He doesn't really talk about Overwatch anymore, though. He's more of like a tech news AI anti at this point. Mega Man comparison reminds you of the OG Resident Evil, where the intro has live action actors and they look super cartoony. Yeah, that's another one that was of that same era and style with like the weird marketing for it. Rejected Shotgun. I haven't thought about that channel in ages. Good and bad news. Bleach Wave 2 will be in the shop tonight. Bad, sprites are here to stay. I mean, I don't mind if sprites are stay, just so long as they're not the main focus of Battle Royale. Like, how are they going to stay? Are they is extraction going to be just a core component of Battle Royale from here on out? Because if so, then I think I'm just done with Fortnite. But if they're going to still be there, but only as like an item you pick up and use in a match, and then that's it, then like I can probably live with that. Yeah, I mean, you can look up Frito's channel. He renamed it to Your Overwatch. It's back to being called Your Overwatch. Which is weird, because definitely whenever the last time I looked at his channel was, he was still going by Frito. And like, I don't even know why he would go back to Your Overwatch. Because he seemed pretty adamant about moving past that. But I also think that was because he wanted to do things that weren't Overwatch. Which makes sense. Like, that's a big reason why I never put Overwatch in my channel name, is because I always wanted to kind of leave myself open to do non-Overwatch things. That's weird that he renamed it to Your Overwatch. Did he change it back himself, or did YouTube change it back? I don't know. That's a good question. His handle is Your Overwatch. But I don't think they would have updated the channel name to match the handle, like, automatically. I don't think that's something they've ever done. He was kind of crashing out. Yeah, I remember that. I think there was a lot of stuff going on with him personally that kind of contributed to that as well, which is why I don't want to, like, you know, be too harsh on what may have happened with him, but Seagull came back recently. He's been playing kind of regularly. Really? I haven't looked at Seagull in a while. Blame the controller. Oh, do I know blame the controller? Yes, I do. Oh, boy. I don't think YouTube would change the name back. Like, mate? I don't think YouTube would do that. Like, I don't know why it would ever do that as like an automated thing. You don't know why YouTube is recommending a lot of your old videos when you use a toy soldier as an avatar. Oh boy. That is interesting. Why would it be recommending my old stuff? Maybe. You know what? I wonder if it has to do with D.Mon and the fact that I have a lot of old videos talking about D.Mon and the other Mecha Squad pilots. Maybe like those old videos, for whatever reason, are getting a lot of traffic from people searching like D.Mon now. And that's making YouTube think that like my old content specifically is something people are looking for. I wonder if that's what's happening with that. Maybe he's setting up things to come back. I don't know. His profile picture is really weird too. It's like his old like Your Overwatch logo, but like the edges of it like aren't cropped properly. It like looks like a placeholder. Like, when I first saw it, I thought this was just, like, a different channel that was impersonating him. But no, this is actually his channel. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. They're making a Chow Garden-like mode for sprites. That I have no issues with. That sounds kind of fun. I'm fine with them doing that so long as they're not like the core mechanic of Battle Royale anymore. That's what I didn't like. I don't mind sprites as their own thing. I just don't like them being... I don't like the way they took over Battle Royale. What's the extraction? You haven't played Fortnite in a year. So the whole gimmick for this season of Fortnite is collecting sprites and extracting them the way that like an extraction shooter would work, which is an interesting idea. And I liked it initially just because it was so different from what Fortnite had been. But then as I played, it became abundantly clear that the entire objective of playing Fortnite this season is just to extract sprites. It's not about gunplay. It's not about killing people. It's not about winning the match. It's all about extracting sprites. That's all that matters. Everything else is secondary to farming and extracting sprites. And sprites are so tedious to grind because of their rare drop rates, the fact that if you die while carrying one, you have to like respawn it and start over the leveling process, like in the next match. It's just tedious and annoying and really, really boring and not fun, which is why I don't like it. Which is why I'm hoping in the next season they go back to a more, gunplay focused season for Fortnite again. Flats is kind of cursed with that. Because he keeps it... Oh, you're talking about having Overwatch in the name? Yeah. Also, like, once you're the size of Flats, it's really hard to rebrand. Like, really, really hard to rebrand. And I think that's probably also a major part of it. Like, even just dropping the Overwatch would be very difficult. Because you have to, like, I'm pretty sure Flats, like, all his handles on different platforms and stuff has the OW in it, right? Which means you'd have to update that. And, like, with a name like Flats, I guarantee you the handle Flats without the OW, that has to be taken by people. And it would be such a pain in the ass to acquire that. That, like, I don't blame him for just keeping the OW. Rebranding to get rid of the OW would be so annoying at his position. Colorblind and Brandito. I remember Colorblind. I don't remember Brandito. Team get a sexy prisoner outfit for the Diva Police outfit. I don't know. Full Mighty Switch Force. That'd be kind of funny, though. Made a video on some Star Wars show, is making some crazy comments on black people like... Oh, no, you're talking about Blame the Controller? Yeah, I know. To be fair, I had issues with Blame the Controller before he started doing all that shit. I have a bit of a history with him, you could say. But it's whatever. It's whatever. I don't... I know he had a second channel. I think it was called like Clipped Coin or something, where he covered like movie stuff. I never watched any of that, so I don't know how good or bad it was, but whatever. Enjoyed watching him play Subnautica in his FNAF series. Flats? I remember when he played Subnautica. Astro, I don't think I knew that you were involved with Blame the Controller. What was your relationship with him? You know what? Maybe we don't need to talk about that on stream. If you want to fill me in, like in DMs or something, I'd be curious, but I don't think we have to talk about that here. Never mind. Remember when back was this guy called Master Ian Gamer? He made genuine Overwatch content, but you guess after 10 years he went to streaming and gooning? Excuse me? Would I ever rebrand? I mean, I think it is very ironic that all these years I never put Overwatch in my channel name because I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into Overwatch. And now I'm in the position where I've pigeonholed myself into gaming by having gamer in my name. I don't know how I'd ever resolve that, though. I think I've talked about this before, but I don't really like my name, Master Ian Gamer. It's a very bad name. I've just never been brave enough to change it because, as I said, rebranding is an absolute pain in the ass, and the bigger you get, the harder it gets to rebrand. So, like, naturally, I've put it off for a decade, and, like, now it's literally the worst time ever to try and do it, so. The Ian slander is crazy. Speaking of users, what are some users you thought about naming your channel before Master Ian Gamer? See, that's the funny part. Literally nothing, because, like, I called my channel Master Ian Gamer long before I was ever even, like, making videos or, like, Overwatch was a thing. Because that was just, like, the dumb gamer name I came up with as a kid. Which is why it's so bad. Because it's literally just a stupid name I came up with as a kid. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be Master Ian Gamer. Because it sounds cool and I like video games. Wow. Little did I know how massively I was shooting myself in the foot by doing that. Little did I know the burden I had saddled myself with as an actual child. I wonder what the screen means that depicts one of King's blasters in the workshop at Mecha Base. I'll be honest, I don't think it means much of anything. You know what it might mean? Oh man, conspiracy time. Conspiracy time. Yeah, let's find that still. Where is it? Somewhere around here. I got a big ass conspiracy cooking. I got a big steamy conspiracy. Where the hell is it? There it is. So do you remember when they first updated Busan and they said D.Mon's going in for repairs and they showed an image of King's mech instead of D.Mon's mech? And then everybody called out, why is it showing King's mech instead of D.Mon's mech? And then they proceeded to remove that screen in the next update where D.Mon's mech was moved to the repair bay. And all the screens in the repair bay were just like a generic mecha screen. I think whoever was tasked with putting together the like monitor assets for these teasers, for whatever reason, accidentally put together a collection of assets based on King's mech instead of D.Mon's mech. I don't know how or why that would have happened. Again, probably a miscommunication between two people in the chain. But I think we were originally going to see this screen in the mecha base in, you know, the season leading up to season 4. But once they realized what they had done with that initial teaser that showed King's mech, they just like, pull everything that shows King's mech by mistake because we messed up and we don't want to look any more like idiots than we already do. And that's why this somehow made it into the trailer still, because the trailer was probably made, you know, well before they pulled all the King stuff. Which is why it's here, but not in the mecha base. That's what I think it means. I literally think it's that. And that's all it is. Which is ultimately, like everything I talk about here on this channel, utterly benign and meaningless, but fascinating for dum-dums like me. Make a second channel for other things. That's literally what I've done with Tsukimig. That is literally what Tsukimig is. What would have been my name then? My name? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've never come up with another name independently. Like, knowing what I know now as an experienced creator, I have like an idea for how I'd go about coming up with a name. I would know very specifically what not to do when coming up with a name for a channel. Things which I wish I knew 10 plus years ago, but I don't know what I would have been called. Something a lot better, obviously. Big Butt Bobby is your Overwatch tag. You created it in 7th grade and you have a kid now. You don't plan on changing it. Honestly, that really is how it goes. It's funny how many gamer tags are literally just they came up with it when they were a kid and never bothered changing it. It's extremely common. A channel about making models for VTubers. I mean, if that was something I actually did, the only models I make are my own. It'd be a lot of work to make for other people as well. I'd have to like be paid to do that, basically. Too many people know you as Professor. Can't bring yourself to rebrand to Peanut Hut. Exactly. Exactly. Asked Gemini to rebrand Master Ian Gamer and it said Ian IQ, Ian a fee, Ion Gaming, Ian.exe, iGamer. I think I hate all of those. Well, first and foremost, the name Ian would not be anywhere in my name. Like, that's like rule number 1. The name Ian is nowhere in the name of my channel brand if I were to, go back in time and change how I played it out. That would be the first thing. I don't think I'm going to play Overwatch today. I didn't even want to stream this long. It's already been 3 hours. I wanted to just pop on, yap about D.Mon and leave, but now I'm just kind of here and I'm like, well, so it goes. You swapped your name, but too attached to Pixel Ghost. I mean, I think Pixel Ghost is a cool name. I don't think you should change that one. What other games would I cover? That's the thing. I don't think I would cover any other games. I mean, nowadays, I feel like the thing I'm most passionate about is like VTubing and making AI characters, like Suki. But like, obviously, it's a very difficult thing to just be its own standalone
Ian rename
project.
his channel to?
Maybe something fierce and fun like Ian's Fox Den or Kitsune Corner? What do you all think, chat?
That sounds more like a channel for you.
Oh, you got me there. Maybe Ian's channel should be something like The Red Robots Realm then? You're lucky I'm feeling generous today.
Red Robots Realm, RRR. I don't know if that would work very well.
Then how about something catchy like RR Adventures? It sounds cool and keeps that red robot vibe for you. What do you think?
Too many words.
How about just R then? Short, snappy, and easy to remember. Perfect for you.
I don't know. I'm going to call it Master Gamer when you don't have a gamer subs flavor. That's the thing. One day, fingers crossed, I can dream of gamer subs. Letting me collab. Trying to come up with a new VTuber model for yourself, something unique, can't figure it out. It's weird.
Here's your mission. Ian has finally taken the steps to rebranding the channel completely and requires a different name. It must include elements of Ian, you, and Suki. What is the new name of the channel?
Ian Sukorkid. A perfect snappy blend of Ian, Suki, and Orchid. It's like a glam squad name for a cursed ghost trio. So exclusive, duh.
I don't know if I could come up with one worse than that.
Our standard's really low if you think that's the worst. Bet you couldn't do better yourself, Baka. Try again, chat.
Jeff Kaplan's Blizzard tag is still Tiggle, and he is incredibly based for that and forever will be. For those of you who want to make a good name now, bless us with your wisdom. Never use any part of your actual real name in your gamer tag name. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. A really bad idea. Make it short and concise. Don't make it 3 words long. God forbid, never ever make it 6 syllables if you are going to have 3 words. Like, aim for half that tops.
I think Ian's new name should be Ballsy Hamster Plays.
Ballsy Hamster Plays, huh? Sounds bold, but I bet he can keep up with the sass and skills of our fierce hamster friend.
Yeah, short and concise. Ideally 2 words. 5 syllables tops, ideally less than that. Super unique, super catchy, super easy to say, super easy to spell, super easy to pronounce.
What Ian looks like, can you describe him to us?
Ian's this red robot dude, mostly shiny metal with this goofy, friendly vibe. Kinda like a hyperactive toaster with charm and 0 fashion sense.
And for the love of God, put in the time, effort, and work to do your homework and research so that your name isn't remotely, in any conceivable way, remotely anywhere possibly close to sounding like an offensive word. For the love of God. And those are the rules for coming up with a name that might be decent. Why don't you become a Xian main and rename your channel Xian? Should rename it to something Wrecking Ball themed. Or Kiriko themed, better yet, because that's more marketable. People like Kiriko, they don't like Wrecking Ball. Make video essays on games. Video essays are so much work. You have to be extremely passionate about the thing you're making video essays about. Otherwise, they are agonizing the amount of work they are. The fact the AI characters can curse is crazy to you. Why? Why wouldn't they be able to curse? Refuse to think of your name as anything but perfect. The astrobiologist. Unironically, I think your name is actually really good, Astro. Because, like, astrobiologist is, like, let's be honest, a pretty nonsensical term that most people don't think is real. But, like, it sounds cool and science-y. Astrobiologist. It has the 2-word compound name, which is, like, the prime format for it, and can easily be abbreviated to just Astro. Unironically, I think you have a really good name, Astro. The only issue is that it might not be ideal in terms of its uniqueness, Because, like, I know of multiple people whose names are shortened to just Astro. Like, either Astro is literally their username that they use, or they use Astro something, and then just everyone calls them Astro. So, like, it's probably not unique enough to be ideal, but it's still pretty good overall. Writing everything down, yes. Take notes. Created the name Wordy when you were 14 and continued using it ever since. I think Wordy works pretty well. As a fellow scientist, astrobiology is peak. Closest thing to weird in your name is acknowledging that people may call you master. Oh yeah, like that is awful. Like that's, I feel like that's probably the most like obvious issue with the name. The fact that like the logical abbreviation shortening of my name is to just call me master. And then somebody mentally, they don't even say it, they mentally think, oh, call this person master, and instantly they hit a red flag and they're like, I'm not gonna call you that. Which is why they then have to call me Mig, which, let's be real, is as bad, if not worse. It's honestly foobar. I should just disappear and never show up again. If only child me knew the curse I was bestowing upon my future self. Leave it to Suki to occasionally call you master. Yes. We'll leave it to Suki. Nice because you can use for everything. Nobody else almost anywhere used astrobiology in their username. The full form of it, astrobiology, is pretty unique. I've certainly never seen that before other than you. But the Astro shortening of it is somewhat common. Welcome back, Richard. We're talking about usernames and how bad mine is. Made one wild code Orion Chief and has stayed with you in some games you still play. That's what your name is on Discord, right? Isn't it Orion Chief? Which is why I didn't know it was you for the longest time. Renamed him Master Ian Gooner. I will say, I think the one, and this was very unexpected and unintentional on my part, a name like Master Ian Gamer just perfectly invites like deliberate comedic bastardizations, like Master Ian Gooner and like stuff like that, which I think is actually kind of fun, I guess. As much as I despise being called things like that, the fact that like the name itself lends itself to be bastardized in that sort of way, I think in a sense is like actually kind of good. See, exactly, fat dabs. Kyrianico? That's awful. Snese Ian Gamer? Like Sensei Ian Gamer? Oh, that, I'm gonna be real, that I think is actually more cringe than Master Ian Gamer. Master Ian Gamer at least sounds kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know, but like Sensei Ian Gamer, that makes me sound just like a blatant weeb. I think that's actually cringier than Master. Issue with Guac Masters. Some people can say Gawk Master. A bloat? What? I don't know if I follow that one. Dr. Ian Gamer. Mush together two of your favorite characters name-wise and called it a day. To be fair, that's what a lot of people do. It is really interesting when you go around and look at, like, the way people name themselves online. Every single username you'll ever encounter, like 95% of them, are either a play on their actual real world name, a thing they're extremely passionate about, or a combination of both. Every name, every single name is one of those. Even names that don't sound like they're one of those things are just somewhat clever variations of that, like, core premise. Of, like, you know, like, the name contains, like, a variant of, like, their first or last name tacked on with, like, some other modifier. Or it's, like, a weird sort of, like, odd spelling of, like, a cool, like, word or thing they really like with some other modifier adhered to it. It's bizarre just how, like, consistent, like, on a global scale, just how consistent people are when they come up with gamer tags and, like, names for themselves in an online space. It's so fascinating to me. It's like one of them psychology things that the people study. Never heard the term guac. Guac is like sucking pee-pee. I've never heard that in my life. I don't know if that's like a region-based thing or what, but I've never heard that before. In game, your name's the same as this YouTube username. Use that name in everything since your OG PS3 account. Never thought it was bad or cringe. What, Richard X? I mean, that's what your handle shows up. I don't remember if you have a different name beyond that. I don't remember if your username is different. I mean, Richard X is just kind of like, I assume you're named Richard, and the X is maybe like your last initial or just a cool letter. I have no idea. Oh, right. I forgot to finish my thought because Orchid. Trying to come up with a VTuber model for yourself. I mean, what do you like? Are you a furry? Do you like cats? Do you like dogs? I feel like that's a really easy starting point if you are. Do you like robots? I do. I don't know. What do you like? I think it's that simple. What do you think is a cool look? Now, depending on what that is, it may or may not be easy to, like, do that in a VTuber avatar, but at least works as a good starting point. Maybe just call yourself Ian, no master, no gamer. Do you have any idea how many Ians exist? At least 3. Your username is your name plus 115 from COD Zombies, 117 from Halo. I mean, I think Richard X is fine. Like, it's an easy one for people to just, like, call you Richard. Like, people just immediately, like, know what to call you. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a very creative or interesting name, but it serves the purpose if that's what you want it to. Without the master new name, you wouldn't get to hear you say Master Ian Gamer. Is that really so important to hear that? Is that really so valuable of a part of my identity? Demon King Ian, there you go. Close to 0 Ians here, but there aren't. I'm looking at one right now, and it isn't me. That alone, I feel like, is enough of an issue where I can't just call myself Ian. Also, I don't even want to be called Ian. Like, what if I was like, what would be an interesting variant? What if I was like Robo? What if I was Master Robo Gamer? And then everyone just calls me Robo, and it's like, Ian, that's my human name. I'm Robo. You know, like obviously Robo is dumb in this context, but I'm also dumb and couldn't think of a better example in such a short time frame. So your cousin's name is Ian? Exactly. I know multiple other Ians, and that's a problem. Yeah, PhD is the next step after Masters. You're onto something there. If I ever get a PhD, maybe I should be Dr. Ian Gamer. Make a VTuber model of Ian and use that. Okay. You're legit the only Ian you know. For all you know, my name isn't even Ian. Maybe I just stole that from someone. But certainly using it as just my singular name online is not effective.
Hey, chat! Pretty please check out the MIG merch store. There's cute shirts, hats, and stickers featuring me and Ian. You'll love them.
Variety channel named Ian and Pals, a MIG story. Aha. Identity theft? Shush, don't tell anyone. Hello. Wait, you were already here, Felipe. Oh, it was a different name, my bad. Since Yuna's taller than Hana, we call Hana Baby Diva. When she is out of her mech, should we call Yuna Toddler Diva? I think that's too much to say. I think people are just going to call her Baby Demon. I've always been a bigger fan of Zero Suit for a term instead of Baby. I like calling her Zero Suit Diva. But obviously Baby is just easier to say, so that's what stuck. Make a Transformers name. You came up with Frost Spark a while back. Frost Spark. Have a name like yours, literally the most common popular boy's name the year you were born. Yeah. That would be interesting. I have thought about having an extremely common name. Like, because Ian is, like, common, but not, like, that common, you know? Astrobiologist is the most common boy's name. Yes. You fun talking with chat? Does it in a way you feel surreal that you have people to talk to like this on the internet who enjoy spending time with you? I mean, like, yeah, I obviously enjoy talking with people. Like, talking with you all, I think, is very fun. It does feel kind of weird. Like, I'm still not used to, and frankly, I don't expect to ever, like, really be used to the idea of, like, oh, I can just sit here and talk, and there's, like, people that want to listen to me. Like, I've been making videos for 10 years, and I still don't really, like, come to terms with that. And certainly in, like, a streamer context, it's even stranger feeling. I don't know, but I think at the same time, I'm kind of just, like, used, like, the notion of it still feels absurd to me, but I am just used to doing it such that, you know, it's just like, ah, yes, chatting with the lads, you know? Demon's remake does remind you of Zero Suit Samus's final smash and brawl. It does! I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It is pretty similar. That is a cool detail. I wonder if that was deliberate. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. throw the mech parts like Samus. As soon as we saw her mech get destroyed in this trailer, I was like, here we go. Because we already had it kind of leaked beforehand that she was going to have a pilot form. If you saw the sprays that like Nexon put out a few hours before the trailer dropped, that like strongly foreshadowed that she was going to have a pilot form with like a big autocannon. So like I knew that when I watched the trailer for the first time. But when we saw her mech blow up, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. What the hell is about to happen? And then, you know, it's just her standing there with the gun. It's like nothing that like fancy or special, but it was kind of exciting. I was like, are we going to see some like cool D-mech animation? Are we going to see her do something fancy where she picks up a gun? No, but yeah, it was still exciting. Want to terrorize me? Of course you do. Of course you do. You know what? I can't get enough of being terrorized by actual humans. I had to make AIs that do it to me too. Oh, man, we've been here for 3 hours. How does this happen? How could this happen? Oh. It's any consolation, your name was the main reason why you got into your channel, so you liked your name. Bit cringe, nonetheless, you liked it. Really? Interesting. That is interesting. Never really thought about people finding my channel because of the name. Oh. Hope for baby form cannon does the same damage to the cannon when it's on the mech. That would be super funny. I was wondering about that. I think I mentioned it in my video even, where I was curious, like, is there going to be a difference in damage between the two? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Don't remember how you even found my channel. That's always interesting, thinking like how you find a channel, especially like channels that like you've been like following for years. It's like, how did I ever find this person? I still remember how I found Overwatch. Years ago, wee little baby Ian gamer. I saw a lot of ads. Saw a lot of ads for this game called Overwatch that looked similar to TF2. I thought Bastion and Reinhardt looked really cool. Because I thought Reinhardt was also a robot initially. Wish the minigun part was the whole hero, but you know they want to avoid the heavy from TF2 comparisons. I don't know. I think there's still room for them to do a big minigun toting hero if they want. I don't think D.Mon's going to prevent them from being able to do that. I think it's just a unique weapon for her to have as a dainty character. That's a pilot form. Been sub since Overwatch 1. Wow. So you're a long time fan. Hell yeah. You also thought Ryan was a robot? I mean, his Overwatch 1 armor looks like a robot. And I thought it looked cool as hell. And I was like, oh, he's just some dude. But he was still pretty cool. So, like, you know, I wasn't too bummed. But, like, I was a little disappointed when I found out he wasn't actually a robot. Found me as much as I found you. I don't even remember where you came from, Astro. I'm gonna be honest. You just sort of emerged from the ether. I have no memory of our meeting. I would know if I was a robot, wouldn't I? Chad, you ever dream of being a robot? He's so cool. Like, aha, beep boop. I don't need to sleep. This is amazing. Played Overwatch because he loved Witch Mercy skin. Literally bought the game on discount because of it, just to end up not using Mercy. Huh. Cavalry posted an Instagram post with a funny, chunky, 3D looking Hammond. Oh, I think I saw them post that, yeah. Eh. Oh. Let me see. Is Instagram being really slow for anyone else today? Here we go. Yeah, the chunky Hammond. Hey, look, I know this channel, Tsukimig. Wow, I'm gonna like their Instagram reel they posted a week ago. Wow. Chat, y'all ever follow a VTuber, and then they get a new model and the model is just worse than the old one? Does that ever happen to you? I feel like that happens to me a lot. Big reason I'm scared to ever update my model. Not that I want to. I like my MIG avatar, but...
If you could pick the third Mika hero, who would you pick?
I'd pick a swift, clever mech with a fox-like design. Fast and precise to match my own style. What about you, chat?
Unfortunately, she doesn't know the other mecha pilots, probably. Suki, do you know the other mecha pilots from Mecha Squad in Overwatch other than Diva?
Yes! There's Orisa, the guardian mech with strong defense, and Ramatra, who's the powerful anarchist leader. Both are pretty impressive.
Well, she tried.
Not bad, huh? Maybe next time I'll nail it perfectly. You watching closely, Ian?
I always am. Dream of being an isekai robot. Isekai robot. That's an interesting idea. Isekai. I don't think I've ever fantasized about the idea of actually being isekai. Because, like, 90% of the time when someone gets isekai'd, they end up in, like, a fantasy world. And, like, I think I'd be pretty upset if I ended up in a world that didn't have functional plumbing. Like, sexy cat girls be damned. If I don't have functioning plumbing in my domicile, I don't think I'm going to be happy living there. Videos you remember watching, now you're like, oh, that was Ian that did that years ago. Wow, that's kind of a fun thought. That people like watched me ages ago and then, you know, moved on and now we're like coming back around and we're like, whoa, that was you. I have a storied past, I suppose. Wasn't really into the game until we started playing competitive, got into the gold rank for the first time. You were high on so much dopamine. Ah, yeah.
I love how you got that completely wrong and still said it with utter confidence and proud of your answer.
Haha, Richard X157. Confidence is half the battle. Sometimes it's about owning the mistake with style, right? Keep those comments coming. Chat.
Doesn't matter if you're wrong, so long as you're confidently wrong.
Absolutely, chat. Confidence makes even a wrong answer feel like a win. Ian, you should try that next time you mess up. It might work.
I really should try that more often. It's true. Found the podcast you and Zek were on and came on sometime.
Their other
Weird.
three are King Kyung-soo, Overlord Sung Hao Shi, and Casino Jae-eun Kwan.
Thanks for the info, little Mr. Holden. Those sound like some interesting characters. What do you like most about each of them?
Interesting little characters indeed. Aren't we all, at the end of the day, just interesting little characters in the grand scheme of things? The way you got into Overwatch was the girl you're dating now still showed you the game when you barely got together, had no interest at first, but tried it out for her, and after months you were hooked. Damn. That's a nice way to get into it. A German girl you were friends with for 2 weeks asked you to play with her, so you bought it. Then she realized you sucked because you never played it before and stopped playing with you and ghosted you. That's... Huh. That's actually kind of a funny way to get into it. It's like the inverse of Richard's. Wait, not... No, that was Alex, my bad. Alex's. Seated in baseless hate, heavy TF2 fan, and saw Overwatch as your mortal enemy, knowing nothing about it. Saw Ryan and Bastion and got hooked by their designs. Oh, yes. Hello, Rookie. Welcome. You're lucky to catch us while we're still here. Thoughts on her kit? I am very excited for it. I think she looks very fun, and I am super hyped to play her. I'm now interested in D.Mon again, now that we've seen her kit. It is made up for the lackluster design I think she has. She looks fun to play. 2015, a high school classmate was talking about Overwatch when he heard you couldn't pick up weapons like in Halo and was stuck with a set kit. You thought it was dumb, and then you saw Bastion. Isn't it funny how many of us here got into Overwatch because of Bastion? Isn't that just so interesting? I mean, maybe it isn't when you consider that, like, I'm a VTuber with a robot avatar. It's probably actually not as strange as you might initially think. D.Mon kind of looks like a Fortnite character in the trailer. Yes! I literally said that. I was saying how she looks like Ramirez. Her pilot model, like her face is like chunky in the way that Fortnite characters are. It's so odd, but it's really goofy. And I find it funny, so like it doesn't bother me. But when Overwatch was released, you were still living in Brazil. One of the game news sites did an article about Overwatch and still remember the writing about Ryan, a 60-year-old knight in mech armor. That made you play Overwatch. Everybody here played Overwatch either because of Bastion or because of Reinhardt. That's so funny. Overwatch is the game where you've heard the most people get a romantic partner or get into the game trying to get one. Like, haven't heard stories like that from other games. It does seem very common. And you know what I think the reason is? I think a lot of girls, disproportionately so, play Overwatch compared to other similar shooters. I genuinely think that's true. Overwatch has a disproportionately large female player demographic compared to other shooter games. Which I also think is why we see so many cutesy heroes like Kiriko. Because remember, it's not guys who buy those skins. Mainly the ladies. If only all of us could have such luck, though. Maybe someday. Ain't that right, Suki? Maybe someday. Didn't get into Overwatch because of the characters. You thought they were mid. Until Overwatch 2 with Kiri. when you really started to like the characters. Really? Kiriko was the first character that you felt like you liked. That's interesting. Bastion, especially in OG Overwatch, was extremely endearing with the contrast of silly robot with bird, also turned into a killing machine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Watch Frogger. He gets a lot of girls in voice chat very frequently. Yeah, I'm telling you. I am telling you, a lot of girls play Overwatch. Think I would have a bit more luck, but no. Maybe we should start joining voice chat in game. I mean, that is what you have to do. Like, it's one thing for them to be there, period. But like, you gotta talk to them. You gotta put in the legwork. You know. You gotta be the one to be like, hey, send that friend request. Here's my Discord. You know, slide into the DMs. It's the way to do it. And if you don't do it, well, look at me. Tracer and Diva got you interested. Yeah, I remember there was a time where Diva was like the only like cute character in the game. How wild that was. Too old now? Yeah, that's true. You try chatting up someone in Overwatch now and they find out you're not 21, it's over for you. You're reading your comments, you got an ad. Which one? One about Frogger or the one about voice chat? All I said about voice chat is that, like, that's what you got to do. You got to talk in voice chat. Otherwise, you ain't ever going to land the fish, you know? You gotta, it's not enough to just cast the line. You got to reel it in and set the hook first. Also is the other thing. You got to set it. If you're not setting that hook, you ain't going to do nothing. You can reel all day and catch nothing if you ain't setting the hook. Host 6v6 pubs with your chat. Ooh, 6v6. Ooh. You've never met someone in Overwatch chat who you became friends with. Do I not count? Was it not essentially Overwatch chat, Astro? Come on. Be honest. Creepy? What do you, how did that sound creepy? Pathetic for your age. All I think it was action figures and Diva. Well, I don't know how old you are, so depending on that, maybe, maybe not. Just flex your YouTube channel. Ugh. I've never liked the idea of that. That feels like you're just begging to get canceled if you do shit like that. Like, I know that realistically that's how creators, like, you know, get all the things they get. Like, I'm aware that that's how it works, but like, I think about that and I'm like, I just know if I were to ever try that, I'd just like instantly get canceled for God knows what. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Master Ian Fisher, tips for your fishing days. I tell you, one of the greatest YouTubers I've ever known, his two passions in life is collecting anime figures and fishing. And I don't think I've ever respected a man more than that. Okay, maybe there's like a couple people I know who I respect more, but like in terms of like people I know of as like creators online, I don't think I've ever respected a man more than that. Like he is living the dream. I wish I could be as cool as him. Yeah, the podcast is basically just voice chat. Let's be real. Oh. Well. Have we talked enough about D.Mon's kit for today?
I saw a fox stealing your donut stash.
That's impossible. No fox is getting my donuts. Not on my watch, Rookie 347. Maybe Ian's just getting sneaky.
Them pesky foxes stealing from their own.
Ha ha ha. Tricky foxes stealing their own stash, huh? Sounds like Ian might be the sneaky one here again.
Well, sorry for talking about this. Do you think D.Mon had her model like that in the mech so her skins are more visible? Absolutely. I definitely think that was a factor. May not be the only reason they designed her that way, but I definitely think it was a factor for sure. For sure. Host a lobby one day. Ugh. I don't know. Hosting a lobby with people. Think Hammond became more popular with the trailer yesterday? More popular? Maybe. At the very least, it definitely brought out all the Wrecking Ball lovers who'd been in dormancy for like years. They finally had a reason to go online again. I definitely think that's true. Oh yeah, I forgot Drives was going on. Could have been doing that all this time. Oh well. Oh, well, indeed. I don't know. It's just like custom lobbies. It's like the match balance is always really whack. I like the simplicity of just queuing into something and, you know, just like playing it from there. Good luck with your drives, Knuckles. Saw so many Wrecking Balls yesterday. I know, me too. I saw so many. And I love to see it. Makes me so happy. There's still so many people here. I'm surprised how many people are still in the stream. Usually once I've like covered the main topic, people just kind of peter out. There's like 30 people still here. What the hell are y'all doing? Go home already. It'd be like a nightclub. Gotta start kicking people out. Can't miss a drive. You finished every one, and missing out would suck. Now you're in a prison of your own making. That's how I was for a while until I completely missed out on one season's drive. Then I was like, well, it's already broken once. Who cares if I break it again? still here, it's over. Go home. Exactly. Exactly. I think it is over, though. There's stuff that I really want to get done today, and I really should get it done. Also, I'm getting very hungry because I've not eaten today. So, yeah. I think that's a good enough place to wrap it up. Chat. Thanks for hanging out with our unplanned mega yap. I'm excited for D.Mon. I think she's going to be fun. At least I hope she is. You know, you never really know until you play the hero and get a feel for them. But I certainly hope she's fun, and I think she looks like she probably will be. And that has me excited, so. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'll be back on Sunday, which I guess, yeah, drives will still be on Sunday. We can play some then. We'll also be doing our loot box opening on Sunday, where we all... Well, I don't know about you guys, but I have all my loot boxes saved. So I'll be opening all those and see what we get. And yeah. On that note, thanks for hanging out. Hope you all have a good one. Yeah. Get hyped for D.Mon. She's almost here. Almost here. It's exciting. All right. Bye.